Hi everyone, how are you doing? Welcome to my stream. Hey, Maria from, doesn't say, okay. Hi Andreas, hi Linda, hi Rushab from Mumbai, thanks for joining. Oh, Linda from Canada, forgot about that. Hi Andreas, how are you doing? So yeah, interesting question about the starting time of the stream. I kind of thought it's kind of matching most of the parts of the world, but maybe I should change it a little bit. Hi Leo from Holland. Hi Chuan, how are you doing? From Sweden. Hi Maria from Sweden. Chavez from Oman. Hi, how are you doing? Oliver from Northern Germany. Hey, how are you doing? Very nice. Kevin, thanks for joining again. Very nice to see so many names I already know. Michael from Panama. Wow, pretty cool. So from everywhere. William from Netherlands. Edgar from Kansas. Oh, sorry, from Kansas. Okay, there we go. Salsa from New Zealand. Hi, how are you doing? Very cool. Isostaff. What does this say? Show. Okay, let's show that. Salsa is gainer. Is that in Africa, I assume, right? Okay, cool. Yeah. Who did I miss? Guidesine from Belgium, from Gent. Hi, how are you doing? Colin, thanks for joining from Cornwall. Andreas, noch ein Fischkopf. From Germany also, so a Fischkopf. From the north of Germany, that is. Yeah. Okay, cool. Twan from Holland. Hi. Wow, so many names I already know. That's pretty cool. Hi, Lee from Colorado, USA. Sorry for mispronouncing your name. From France. Francois? Is that how? I don't know how to pronounce that. I should learn a little bit French, maybe. Mr. Dragon from the Swiss. Hi, how are you doing? Christian from Frankfurt. Hi. Johannes from the Netherlands. The south part of Australia, really? Oh, okay. I'm thinking about a different country, I think. Yeah, interesting. Anyways, okay, cool. Yeah. Oh, NIK. Okay, from Nuremberg, Germany. Hi. By the way, I'm also from Nuremberg originally. I'm not sure if you ever talked about that. I'm from Neumarkt, which is kind of near there. It's like half an hour away. So I have been in Nuremberg a lot in my life. Yeah. I went there to school for a brief moment, not too long though. Hi, Oliver. Where? There's my Oh, I forgot to remove the old messages about the Affinity channel post. Well, you can still watch the video. It's still there. So that's pretty cool. And separate from Australia. Really? Wait a second. I have to look that up. Let me quickly see the map here. I have relatives in Australia too. From Melbourne, mostly. I have been there twice in my life. But isn't this like, what did you say? 1 second. Where's the separate from Australia? No, very south past Australia. But isn't that just Tasmania? Is there something else? And then there is the Antarctic, right? And then southeast you have New Zealand. Well, let's switch the screen real quick. Boom, there we go. So, oh my God, I have a wrong side. There we go. Why does this always happen in this other view? Oh, because I didn't cut that yet. Oh, I can move the sides in and I didn't do that. This is why we always get this kind of gap on this side. You see how wide this goes here. Okay, so I have to adjust that. Now it gets clear. So yeah. There's Tasmania down here. By the way, there is somewhere here, no, the King's Island. Where's Kangaroo Island? Oh, Kangaroo Island's over here. It's really beautiful. This is very nice to visit. Very cool little island there. Yeah. Oh, I should also turn off my bookmarks, which you already have seen, so it doesn't matter anymore. But yeah, we have a little bit more screen real estate, as they say. So there we go. New Zealand is a very little but beautiful country. I've never been there, by the way, which is strange because I've been so close but never been there. So that's interesting. Is that so? You are from Tasmania down here, or did I get that wrong? Georgetown. That's always interesting to learn about new places. Interesting. Okay. Let's go back to the chat. Go right. Can you say the name again? What is it? No, go to the right of Tasmania. Say the name again of the town or the village or something. So I can enter it here and I can find it. What was it? Gainar or something like that? Let's enter this here. Gainar. Whoops. No. Okay. Ah, Australia. No, that's up here, so that's something different. I can't remember what you said. Gainar. Okay. Oh, your name is Gainar. I thought the town is called Gainar. Ah, I see. Okay, I was confused. Interesting. I think I have been on Tasmania. I'm not sure. As a child, because my family visited the other part of my channel, my family here when I was like 10 years old. So I can't remember if we went down there or not. All right. About the daylight, someone asked before the stream started. Oh wow. Okay. Why do I stream so late? And the idea is so it's kind of like a lot of people that view my channel come from the USA and Canada and also from England, stuff like that. So most of the viewers come either from here or from here. So it's kind of a time when they are still around. It's not too early. It's not too late in the day. Like for the European people, it's maybe a little bit late, but not that late. And I mean, for the American people, it's a little bit early, but not that early. Like I could maybe start 2 hours earlier, but then again, maybe a lot of people would still be in work. I don't know. And I mean, for that part here, it's complicated, but yeah. I can't I can't make everybody happy. And like over 90% come from that area that has daylight right now. So this is why I decided to make the stream at that time. And also you can still watch the recording and then also have this kind of mini live stream, which is a little bit early. It's at 7 p.m. in my Facebook group. So that's also a possibility. Wow, that advertisement for that video comes a little bit often, right? Why did it come 2 times? Should I? No, I don't. I'm not going to change that now. I don't want anything crashing. All right, let's switch over to the talk view again. Hi. Also, I forgot again to change the background image. And last time, did we do something that I could use? Let me see. I have some. Oh no. Okay. 1 second. I don't think we have something I could use there. Is this a live background? Yeah, it is. 1 second. Let's see. What could I use there? I mean, last time we created this picture here. Is that maybe a bit too much to have that in the background? Maybe move that a little bit down. Like so. Yeah, that's kind of cool, right? Can go like this. I can even make it a little bit smaller. All right. Yeah, let's go like that. Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay, let's bring back the chat. Christian says something from Vienna. What does this refer to? Oh, you mean a picture from Vienna? That would actually also be a good idea. Not sure I right now have a picture of Vienna I could show there, but maybe for the next stream, it would be good. Hey, Fabiga from Germany and Richard from Poland. Thank you very much. Yeah, So that's pretty cool. Okay. Oh, in New Zealand it's 7 a.m. right now? Oh yeah, because they are a little bit more to the east. So yeah, the sun is already has moved a little bit over. That's pretty cool. Okay, okay, okay. By the way, I was today. I thought I want to talk a little bit about like discussions on the internet. I thought maybe as an artist or like conflict as an artist. I messaged today with one of my followers on Facebook. Because he was criticized for his work, and like I want to talk about like art and being criticized for your art and how to handle that. Maybe that's kind of a good thing because we all get criticized at some point in our life, no matter if we show our things in a gallery or online or just to the friends or something, or somebody comes back with a kind of say, oh, I would have done that differently, you know, some kind of that kind of thing. So, oh, is that visible right now? No. Okay, good. Let's close that. And I like, as an artist, of course, when I was young, I was really up for discussing and like verbally fighting with other people over topics, especially with other students, stuff like that. And it was fun. So that was a good time. As a student, that's okay, I think, because you have, everybody's like really powered, loaded with their kind of ideas and stuff like that when you're young, so you want to like discuss about all this kind of stuff, but with students, with your friends, that's a different kind of thing because you come from a similar background, you have similar kind of topics, and you have kind of an educated kind of view on these kind of things, and then you just argue over these different points. So it's not like this kind of internet nonsense that sometimes happen where people come up with the strangest kinds of ideas and arguments and they don't quote anything, or it's just it's not worth most of the time to discuss things when somebody is enraged about you on the internet, because mostly they don't know what they talk about, you know. Sometimes it's really interesting, but you find out really quickly if it is interesting or not. So I think the most, let's have a sip here before I hold the cup for another 10 minutes. Like, first of all, I would say as a creative person, as someone like not as a just as a creative person, as a person who does anything at all in your life, somebody will criticize it, somebody will find it stupid, or like would have done it differently or stuff like that. So that's a huge part. And the more you show things to other people, the more, of course, you invite them to give you feedback. And of course, you also want to have the feedback, but most of the time you only want to have the positive feedback, right? You only want to have people say, hey, that's really cool that you do that, and really nice artwork, stuff like that. So that's nice. And then we aim, like most people have a tendency to over evaluate negative reviews, you know, like for example, on my videos, I think there is some person out there who really doesn't like me, something did work wrong. I don't know, in my mind it is like that, because every video seems to get one dislike, just one dislike on almost every of these videos. So this has a very kind of, and it's often that you think you had like 200, 300 likes, and then you have this one dislike, and you think about this one dislike, you know? So, that is kind of strange that we over-evaluate these kind of things, and you shouldn't do that. It's what I've learned with my channel, but also with age, maybe, is that you should keep a cool distance. For example, my brother is a doctor, and he says, well, you have to treat patients all the time. Sometimes they die, sometimes they don't get well anymore, sometimes the medication makes them worse. Because it's kind of a very complicated thing with the human body, and not everybody reacts in the same way to the same things, but every doctor learns in their kind of university time to keep a distance, to be objective, because if you like feel with everything that happens and you connect emotionally with everything that happens, you're going to destroy yourself. So it's not a good idea. And sadly for artists, you don't have this part of the education. Nobody tells you about that. But it's a pretty important thing, I would say, to have a disconnect between what you do and what other people think about you. They have the right to think whatever they want, but you also have the right to not listen to them, to not like to just ignore them for what they're saying, you know? So The important thing here is, like, for me, I learned, especially with, like, if you argue with your colleagues, if people have knowledge and you respect them for that and you argue with them, that is always valuable, or most of the time valuable. But if you have some random person on the internet, it's mostly not worth the time. And I really realized that if I would argue with someone online, the only person that would be hurt by that would be myself, because I would feel like angry that I even started the conversation and got into, and then like there's all these bad feelings and you have to block the person, and maybe you get banned from the group because you got a little bit loud, stuff like that. So the easiest thing is to just ignore it. You can read through the position and say, well, do I think these points make sense or not? Do they give me maybe interesting references to stuff? Do they maybe have a point of view that I could understand in some way? But most of the time you can simply ignore it, And like for me, for example, often if I write, well, it's interesting that you think like that, and that might be a valuable point, but it's just another opinion. And why do I need to care? Like, there's 2 billion people on Facebook. Why would I care about your opinion? You're just a random person. I don't even know what you know about the subject. So you can most of the time ignore it, And then you don't get in an argument, and you don't have to leave a group or get banned from a group or have to block a person or all these kind of things. Also with customers, never argue with the customer, because it's the only person who's hurt by this argument is you, because they will remember that, they will talk about you badly for the next 10 years or for the rest of their life, because this is what stays in our mind if we have been mistreated in one way or another, So always try to evade that, always try to go out of that situation as soon as possible. And if you don't get into it, you don't have anything to feel sorry about, So, yeah. Wait, let's look at the chat. What does the chat say? The dislike are from Photoshop users. Maybe that the one Photoshop user who can't stand it. Yeah, that's true. I'm really happy there isn't that kind of war between Photoshop and Affinity Photo as it is between, I don't know, Android and Apple, and I don't know, Xbox and PlayStation, or Linux and Windows, or this other kind of stuff where people like really hate at each other for using different kind of things. So yeah, it's really interesting. But I mean, there's a lot of critique in art, in culture. Everything can be critiqued by people. And sometimes they have a point. But you know what, honestly, if I want to have a good point, if I want to listen to a good point being made, I'm going to listen to a good podcast from a source that I trust, or I'm going to read a book. That are the sources where I get good information from, that not a random guy shouting at me on the internet in a comment, so just ignore that, it doesn't really help you at all. I don't know what this means. Yeah, is that kind of I don't know. Yeah, my YouTube was a little buggy. Really? Is there a problem with my stream? Does it not like upload good, or what? Okay. Maria, you can post things in my Facebook group, and also I have a weekly challenge where I do give feedback on these kind of pictures. So let me post this here. I also I should respond more to posts being made in my Facebook group, but on the other hand, I also want that the group is kind of self-organizing, which has the purpose that people can help each other and that the community comes together. And I don't want to kind of it shouldn't be a monologue just from my side. It should be a discussion between the people in the group, so they can learn from each other, get to know each other, maybe do projects with each other, all these kind of things. And I'm very pretty intense. So yeah, I should invite more conversation. So I try to stay out of it a little bit. Stream is okay, so that's pretty good. Okay. My stream bot is really going crazy right now. I don't know why it does make so many posts. And I don't know how I can turn that off. Put user to timeout. I'm not sure what happens if I time out my own stream bot. Let's not do that. Okay, it's a bit spammy today. Okay, but I'm saying is like, don't get too enraged. Don't take critique too serious. You can listen to it a little bit if you think it makes good points, stuff like that. If you have a feeling it doesn't make good points, you can just ignore that and get out of the conversation. A good way to do that always is to say, like to another, like if you have a person face to face, you can say, well, that's an interesting point. I didn't see it like that. I have to think about that. And then you say, and now I have to go to the toilet or I have to get a drink, and boom, you're out of the situation. You don't have to argue, no, you're wrong because this or that. They will never like see themselves as wrong, like you would never see yourself as wrong. So just say, hey, yeah, that's interesting. I need some time to think about that, and then you're gone. That's a really quick way to evade any kind of trouble, you know? So, and also people always like to be appreciated. Like you can even start with that. You can say, hey, I really appreciated you give me that kind of feedback. I have to think about that. That's kind of, there's something interesting in there. But now I have to go to the toilet again because I have a weak bladder today. Sorry, I'm bye. You know, before you argue with them and fight with them, and then you get a bad image. Like imagine you make an exhibition, there's all these kind of important people around, and then you start to scream at just some random dude arguing some bullshit about your work, you know, like why waste that time, you know? And you make yourself look like a doofus. It doesn't work, you know. Never do that. It's not a good thing. Like I said, the guy that's seen is making good point. What about constructive criticism? Because not every criticism is bad. There is constructive criticism, and I think you realize pretty quickly if people know what they're talking about. You know, for example, if they bring references and these references even make sense, you know, then it's a good argument. You know, you can start to think about that. You know, for example, if someone comes to you and says, this is not art. My son has done that with 5 years old. Why do you do this? You know already this is going to be a bad conversation, and you don't want to like take time to talk about that. It's kind of crap, you know? But if a person comes and says, hey, there is this kind of photographer, he reminds me pretty much of your stuff. I think his stuff is stronger than your stuff because maybe your thing is a little bit too like obvious in the face, and you could be like, yeah, okay, hey, show me some of his pictures on your phone, and then we can talk about the different kind of points. And maybe, I don't know, maybe I've seen his stuff before. Maybe in a subliminal way, he inspired me some years ago because, you know, like it always happens. You see something on the side of your eye, you didn't even realize it, but then weeks later, it inspires you to do something, and you don't even know that it comes from there, you know? So this is always like when people say, this artist, he had to know that this other artist has done this stuff. Maybe he has seen it somewhere. Doesn't mean that they actually actively researched the kind of thing and just copied it. And if they did, why? What's the bad thing about that, you know? Sorry, I need to go to the toilet. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. A critique is very different than an attack. Yeah, it is. Absolutely. Yeah. I know I talk about not critique, but like conversations where just people like shout at you, different kind of things, that kind of thing, you know? So yes, it's my super big cup here that I always use. And it's transparent. Look at that. A little bit. Yeah, with the green screen. You can see the stuff behind me. Okay, interesting. Yeah. Okay, so I just wanted to talk about that. So, like I said, if it's like just a stupid conversation, get out of it. Don't get enraged because you will just feel bad about yourself for giving into the rage. And if it's a good conversation, you can listen to it and see what comes from it and maybe learn some new stuff about that. So that's always very interesting. Yeah. Right. Okay. Other stuff. Let's look at the pictures from the challenge this week, I would say. Sorry. Again, I'm just talking. I'm sorry. What do you think about that? I have to really make some post-its here that have these kind of talking points that kind of, do you agree? Or what is kind of a normal like conversation thing to say? Did you have something like that happen to you. I'm really bad at that, as you can realize. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Yeah. Like, we can talk about stuff that happened to you if you want to, or we can go onto Facebook. I'm really happy to talk about things, or maybe if you want to ask something or stuff like that about that kind of topic, about that kind of situation. Because it can be very unnerving and it can haunt you. It can even like drive you out of the stuff you're doing, like your art that you're doing, or stuff like that. If you get bad feedback, stuff like that. Yeah, from a lot of sources, especially sources that are close to you, because they hit harder. If you don't know the person, that's one thing, but if it's like maybe your own family, which happens often, that's kind of a bad thing. And yeah, maybe it might take a long time to work through that. Would you like to share your point of view on that? That's a good one. That is really a good one. Yeah, I need to write down some of those. Yeah. Can you always turn a discussion to a positive note? Not me. Not me. Maybe I think some people can, if you like bend very much into the other direction. Like, if you're really good at the rhetoric, then I think you can. Like, you can always, like, the easiest way to bend a discussion in a positive way is just to appreciate the other person. Is really the easiest way. To appreciate the person and then to listen to the person, and then they will feel like at home and like appreciated and everything. So it's really positive for them, you know. And some people use it like that because they learn a lot about the other person that way and about the problems of the other person. It feels good to the other person. They don't have to agree. And like, we have this kind of inner drive to always be right and always like have the last word, or just like bring our opinion across. But if you would think, if you turn that off and you don't feel the need to correct someone or to be correct yourself, and you just listen to other people, you basically can't really get into conflict, right? Rujab says, sometimes it's not worth continuing the conversation to make it positive. That's also a point. Like, a lot of stuff that's happening online is just, it has no level at all. Like, it's below zero, I would say, from the value of conversation, because people sometimes have very strange views, or conspiracies, which can also be in art and stuff like that. So there's a lot of strange stuff happening. You earned your gray hair. I obviously, it takes a long time to earn the gray hair and be a little bit more relaxed. And sometimes I still get sucked into it. I mean, sometimes it's just fun to shout with people, you know. It's just nice. I really liked it as a student. I mean, even sometimes as a student on parties, I like to argue with other people, and then I got bored of their points because they were kind of weak. So I gave them points and said, hey, you should say this to me because that's a good argument. And then, you know, I was like, come on, let's argue. And yeah, sometimes it didn't work. Okay, well, it was just for fun, you know. Sometimes bad publicity is still publicity. Yeah, that also is sometimes, but you have to be able to handle that. That's the harder part, I would say, to be able to, like, it's easy to make bad publicity for yourself, but to spin it into a positive direction, that's pretty hard to do. And sometimes some people are masters at that. This is always, by the way, this is an interesting point. If someone is really good at shouting you down and you have no experience in how to counter that, they will always win these kind of situations. So it's like always when someone comes to you and you see they have kind of a very strong view on a conspiracy or their politics or their religion or whatever it is, they have a lot of knowledge and background and understanding for that, but you don't. So there is no way you can ever win this kind of conversation. So don't even attempt it. Just say yes or nah, interesting, or let them tell their story if you want to listen, or if not, just excuse yourself, you know. Yeah. The art of conversation is very perilous. What is perilous? Let me look that up. Full of danger and risk. Yes, it is. Absolutely. Yeah. And Gandhi quote, you can't change how people treat you or what they say about you. All you can do is change how you react to it. Interesting. But wasn't his main thing to change how people treat them? Is that like... I think you can change how people treat you. I mean, people treat you often how you treat them, you know, and you can sometimes change their mind. But it's pretty hard, you know, so yeah. You can change their mind and how they think about you, not how they think about a general topic. That's a lot harder. So, yeah. So yeah, it's interesting. It's a pretty it's kind of complex thing. So I rather decide to stay out of it and not go into arguments unless I'm really interested into the argument. But like I don't know, when I was young, I wanted to say something about every kind of topic, but now I'm just like more listening mode. I don't feel like the need to unless of course on my channel, that is. Maybe I just found another outlet to talk all the time. All right, maybe should we go to the Facebook thing, or we can also talk about that? I'm just trying to find out what's the vibe in the viewers with the community. Heated up, being diplomatic could work. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I think in most situations of life, we know what would be expected in that situation. We just don't like it because most of the time it's kind of a bitter pill to swallow, even if it's something nice you do or it's something ugly you do or something, any kind of thing. You know how the other side would you expect to like act or react, but most of the time we don't want to because we have our own pride and we say no. They make a stupid point, I want to smack them down with my rhetorics and tell them they are wrong. You know, you don't want to like congratulate them to their bad opinion, you know, but you could do that and they would be happy about that and they would treat you like a friend because you act towards them like a friend. So, but most of the time we don't want to do that, you know, so it's interesting. You know how to navigate through these kind of things, but like there's our own pride in the way and maybe also our own honesty. I think it's also a moral thing. For me, often, like if I go into discussion, it's not that I want to be right. I don't want the other person to be wrong. So I see that as a different kind of point, but still a point that doesn't really work out. So it doesn't really make sense to do that. All right. 1 second. I have to turn off the sound of my phone. Okay, that is good. So now we should be... Oh, by the way, I want to show you something. I found out that my library has audiobooks and you can you see that? You can read them, not read them, you can listen to them on your phone for free because I was buying audiobooks on Audible. And then I was like, wait a second, I have a membership for a library. And they have a lot of books. They don't have all the books. They don't have everything I want to listen to, but there's still a lot of stuff to listen to. I would really suggest to listen to this one. It's called Sophie's World. It's kind of an introduction to philosophy. It's a bit heavy. Sorry. Oops. It's a bit heavy on the Western culture for my taste. Like I would like it to be more global if it educates about philosophy to children, but it's a pretty good book. It's a pretty interesting book. Some points of view are outdated now, but mostly it's good. So check that out. Justin Garner. Is that the author of that? Yes. Justin Garner. Yes, that's the one who wrote that. Yeah. All right. Yeah, audiobooks are awesome. Audiobooks and podcasts, I really picked that up through the crisis. It's really nice. You don't have to read and you still get some education. Although you remember a lot less than if you actually read the book, but that's because you always do stuff besides listening to the audiobook. All right. let's have a look at the stuff that has been posted on Facebook. And we can still keep on the conversation. Let's put this over here real quick, and then I have to change the view so you can see what I'm talking about. Boom, there we go. Okay. And the chat is now still alive, so that's pretty cool. Link to Facebook. Why does it now say link to Facebook? Oh, because someone wrote that. Wait a second. So this is the Facebook group link where you can post stuff and interact with other people. There you go. And this is the challenge. So this is the challenge for week 23. So for this week, with about the analog look pack, because I thought, because people said, hey, make something that's more about editing pictures with Affinity Photo. So I try to take that into consideration, and the pack seemed to be a good reason to do that. Okay, so here is the first one from Daniel. Very nice. Oh, interesting. Okay. So there is a lot of noise, like digitally looking noise going on here. That's pretty interesting. Very nice touch of that. And I see a lot of you also use these kind of vignettes that I've created with, by the way, I created all of the pack with Filter Forge, which is really cool because I want to use this in future packs too. And I adapted the filters, of course, a lot of times, not all the times, but a lot of times. So that looks pretty cool, also with this kind of scratches here breaking up the surface. So it's a very nice combination. Like here in that area, it's maybe a bit harsh, but maybe that is what you intended. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty okay still. And overall, it's kind of a nice, nice work, making it look like vintage and analog and kind of like old schooly. So that's pretty cool. And what I also like about the pack, by the way, is that you can kind of guide or like the feeling and the eye in the picture through these different kind of colors. You can see here, over here gets a little bit warmer on this kind of side, but here it has kind of a cooler part. So you can use that to your advantage to point out or hide or make some areas feel colder and warmer and more attracting and more like pushing you back. So that is a pretty interesting way to use these kind of overlays for discoloration of the film. The scratches, yeah, the scratches and the cracks in here of the surface. How did you get the digital noise? I made this kind of pack. I can show you real quick. Let's go here. And there is some like different, you can see here's the different versions. Let's see in the free version. Yeah, there's like only 2 grain textures in there. In the pro version, there is 14 different film grains there. So I will show you later on when I edit the pictures. You just like push them, pull them into your picture, and then set a blend mode, and that's basically it. You don't have to do much more. Oh, by the way, because some people have been confused about this, you need to click here and then also enter the price. I'm really sorry about that. It's really stupid how that works with that page. I can't change it because it's like a fix online store where I just put my products. So you have to click here, for example, and then enter the price. And then you click down here. Normally for you, it says, I want this. For me, it's a German version, and you can download this. And if you forgot about that, like you click, like you come to the page, you see just this and enter $10 down here, you don't automatically get the pro pack, you get the free pack. So if that happens to you, please write me an email, and then I will send you a code where you can download the pro pack, even if you have like, so I check your email on my account to see, okay, you have paid, and then I send you the link to the Pro Pack. You have to like purchase this again, but it's a discount 100%, so you get it for free, you know. So please check that and write me if something went wrong about that. All right. Oh my God, the chatbot is going crazy today. Okay. Light leak pack on top of that. Okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah, you can combine the different packs. Oh man, the chatbot is going wild today. Party time. Okay, anyways, let's go to Klaus, who made a Western film poster for some reason, which, I mean, does look vintage. So it has this kind of like old schooly analog kind of film look. I'm not sure if you actually use these kind of effects from the pack, but you don't have to. It's just a suggestion. You can do anything else you want. The combination of the elements is a little bit wild, I would say. So maybe look at old film posters and what they are doing there. We can look at one here. Let's go to images real quick. There we go. Like they do have these kind of big like heads in the sky, so you can see the main actors. It's more attractive to watch the movie if there's a star in it, stuff like that. So to have the star qualities in there, but it's not this kind of hard edge here. So and you can also see like when they have these heads in there, they try to keep the area either clean around it or like they use it in a way where it's not like, you know, in this case, for example, you can hardly see the face. So I would rather have the face in here without the rocks behind it and then blend it softly with the background. Where was this other picture we just saw? Like here, for example. Again, you can use some clouds or some fog or stuff like that. Maybe use a different landscape where you have more of a first of all, more of a classic Western look, and then more space to put stuff. So if we go to Unsplash, the classic one is Death Valley. Death Valley, which doesn't work. Whoops, no. Is it not that? It's Death Valley, right? Is that Death Valley? What you use there? Maybe it is. I thought more about these spiky towers. I thought more about this kind of stuff here. That's very classic, but is that another park? Maybe. I thought this is Death Valley where you have these spiky stones. Well, everybody takes the same picture. That's nice. That's a very creative. Yeah, it's Death Valley, right? Oh, I wrote it wrong. Okay, let's see. This desert. I can't find it, but you know what I mean. Let's go to Google real quick. What am I thinking about? Monument Valley. That's it. Monument Valley. I'm sorry. Something completely different. Monument. Wow, that sounded really ironic. I didn't mean it ironic. It's very different. Yeah, this is the one. And I think, like, am I right? There's just like 5 or 6 of those, and the rest is just like, those are the iconic ones. And then this is not a normal formation there. Like, you have these 5 things, and the rest is just normal rocks. Is that true? I've heard that. Right? There's a lot of these things, by the way. If it comes to tourism, where you think, oh, what a place, and then you go there, it doesn't look anything like it, because it was like just a very small sample. For example, if you look up, let's go for Cuba, and you see this. And I told my mother, come on, all the houses there are colorful. Every house there has a different color. And she says, no, it's not like that. And I said, look at this. And she said, yes, I was there. Those are the only 5 houses in the whole city who are painted colorful. The rest is just gray. This is just a tourist picture that you see all the time. And it's always the same houses. You see, here's a different picture. It's exactly the same houses. And there's a different picture. It's exactly the same houses, you know. There's no other pictures with colorful houses because it's just those houses, which is really crazy, you know. And because everybody thinks, well, this is Cuba. Everybody has these kind of colorful houses. And it's apparently not like that. I've never been there myself, so I can't tell you anything about that. Well, again, let's go back to I got really sidetracked. The Undertaker. Isn't that a WWF star? Or has been? Like, I think, by the way, okay, I'm getting sidetracked again. Back then, it was really cool with The Undertaker and the other guys. That was kind of awesome. And now, I haven't watched it for years. But I think now it's not the stars are not that kind of goofy and fun. anymore from my kind of view, but I haven't watched it for a long time, so I don't know. All right. So have a look at these old posters and what they did with that, and see how they combine elements in there. I can see here also with the text and stuff, and how these kind of things are combined. By the way, always great compositions you will find in there. You can learn a lot from movie posters. And by the way, I really also appreciate the time when they were still painted by hand. That is really, really cool to see these old posters. Yeah. Okay, cool. You can also see here, nice combination. They cut here, so they didn't blend in that case. Here it blends a little bit with the background, but it isn't as hard as here. So analyze these things a little bit and maybe try to combine it in that way. That would maybe be a good idea. All right. Okay, let's go for the next one, which is by Simon. He says, I have to hand Olivio sorry because he has done it again. Okay, very nice. Thank you very much. Unlock Dream Packs. There's wondering if I should buy it, and now realize just how happy I am that I did. That's awesome. That's very good to know. Oh, hey, wow. Thank you very much, John. I was just looking over there thinking, why is there a cat on my screen? Okay, thank you very much for the donation. Really, really nice of you. I appreciate it very much. Thank you for your support. All right, cool. If you didn't know, sorry, should I don't know, can I go to my YouTube channel? I think I can, right? Just to show you that kind of feature. So if you go here, and I think I will pause the video, boom. Where's the chat? There's the chat, and you can see down here you can do super chats, where you can... No, wait, how does... Yeah, there we go. Oh, I can even use super stickers. I don't know what they are. And you can donate if you want to. Like, there's a slider here where you can put any kind of amount, and then you can also send a message. Did you send a message? No, you didn't. I think you didn't, right? It doesn't say a message here. So you can do that if you want to support the channel. Some people don't want to have this kind of Patreon monthly thing. So this is a way where you can support the channel without having kind of a monthly thing, just to tell you about that kind of possibility. And you didn't see any of what I said because there is that thing down there. Wait a second. Oh, and there's all my icons in the background. So down here, there is this icon here. You can click on that and you can select one of those. And then you can select any kind of amount, or just, I think you can enter it by hand. Let's write, for example, 23. Yeah, that works. You see, you can write then something, hey, old dude. And then, yeah, I get the message. That's a possibility if you want to. Just to explain how that works. All right, good. Thank you very much. Okay, let's go back to Simon. I use a couple of the light leaks, a pink vignette and some pink grain just for good measure. Interestingly, I rarely find myself using blend modes these days. My go-to with overlays is blend ranges these days as they offer more flexibility. Anyhow, I hope you like it. It's really cool. It's a very nice combination of a like soft photography, very like romantic and attractive, and then you have this kind of a pink dreamy view around it, again also with this kind of analog vignette or border from the pack. So that's pretty cool, and they're really easy to use. You just stretch them out until they fit in there. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Very nice combination. There is some elements that maybe could have been done better, like for example down here, if you look there, let's open this up in a new tab so it doesn't have this kind of overlay. Here you can see there is some stuff happening with the color for some reason. I'm not sure if you created a mask here, if this is kind of the blend mode doing some stuff. And also up here, whoops, there, this is a little bit strange here. So I'm not sure if you did that for a certain reason or not. I mean, you did create a mask to hide the effect over the face, so the face stays as like in the natural color, is not like suddenly getting pink. That would look a bit strange probably. So that's okay. But maybe here faded a little bit softer on these areas, and down here also, and down there, to have not these kind of hard edges, because they kind of stand out in that kind of area. And yeah, it's a bit strange. Also, by the way, I see here, and this is a problem that you sometimes get when you create a mask, that you get these kind of discolorations at the edge of the mask. For some reason, Affinity Photo sometimes changes the color of the picture there. You could instead use the eraser brush with a soft edge to create a soft fading of the color. Not a mask is a destructive way to do that, but you can always, like, you can either duplicate that layer and do that so you have a backup layer if you want to go back later, or you just drag in the overlay again to readjust that. So that's what I often do, is just like duplicate it, for example, and then erase it, because Affinity Photo can sometimes be a bit strange about that. All right, thank you very much for your entry. Let's go to the next one. Oh, let's also look at the chat real quick. Where's the chat window? There we go. Okay. You have my image screen. I don't know what that means. Oh, you're Simon. Hey, hi. How are you doing? Thank you very much for the entry. It looks really cool. Very nice. Koenig says you're welcome. You have taught me more in such a short period of time. Yeah, absolutely. You're very welcome. I'm happy to do that. And I'm really happy that I have kind of this ability to teach people about things, and which I realize now because a lot of people tell me about it, even from other channels. Like I talk sometimes with other YouTubers about how to do things better, and I show them, sometimes they look at my channel, or I show them a video, ask them about things, and say, hey, wow, you're a really good educator, which is, for me, is news, because I don't see myself, you know, in that kind of way. I don't see myself from the outside. So it's really nice to learn something like that about yourself. Gives me also more confidence in teaching things to you, and to, of course, always get better in teaching things, and like learning myself, improving myself with the videos and stuff. I just bought some packs. Okay, that's cool. Awesome. Check if you get the right pack, and if not, send me an email, please. About if there's any kind of problem, so I can either send you a discount code, or it can also refund you. So yeah, all right. Here's Sabine. Wait, is Sabine the next one? Yes. Okay, cool. My poodle. Wow, you have a poodle. Wow, that's pretty cool. Very nice poodle. Very cool. I like poodles. Okay. This looks really cool. I would say, if I wouldn't know it otherwise, I would say this is an old photo, right? It's an old analog picture. You really use the combination of the effects very nicely here. I also like this kind of soft blend around his hair, kind of this, how do you say, this kind of glamour glow around the dog's hair and the outside of the dog. That's pretty cool. Very nice. Yeah, very nice combination. There's a little bit of pink here. Maybe you also use the mask to reduce a little bit of the color blend of the hair, so you see the nice color of the poodle hair here. So again, maybe use the eraser with a soft edge, but the rest is really cool. Very, very nice combination. In hindsight, I think like I should have used maybe a different kind of this kind of how do you say, spot, basically. So one that looks like it's from water, you know, because there's only this kind of dry version there. But you could basically also maybe if you blur it a little bit, it could look more like it's like a water stain. That's what I'm meaning. Very nice picture. Really good combination. And also like from the elements in here, it looks kind of vintage with this kind of striped ice cream card, I guess this is, or something like that. Really nice. Very cool. Thank you very much, Sabine. Okay. There's Kevin. Thank you very much for doing an entry again. I think I used most of the tricks in the Analog Dreams toolbag. This image is a copyright-free photo from NASA and shows Space Shuttle Discovery landing on runway 22 at Edwards Air Force Base. Pretty awesome. Thank you very much. Very nice picture again. I think you used a kind of a light leak over here coming in from the side, which is also cool. This is not always just like from the top or from the left side, but a little bit diagonal, so more variation in there. Pretty cool. I also like this kind of discoloration. It's going more into this kind of violet tone. So yeah, really cool picture. And of course the subject fits because this was a bit ago. I don't know from when. Did you say from when that was? But it's kind of the analog time. I think it's a bit some, I don't know, how long is it ago that the last time this is it a, would you call that a plane? No, it's something, shuttle, of course, the shuttle, yes. The shuttle landed, yeah. All right, and recently was the first American launched, I think, space launch some days ago. Someone posted, one of my follower made a photo from the UK posting about that event. So that's pretty cool. So thank you very much, Philip. It worked out really well. I would say it's really amazing and looks very much like an old photo. So pretty cool. And I think it gives this kind of, I really feel like when I look at these pictures that have this kind of old schooly, organic, like handmade feel, right? Like compared to the digital perfectness. Do you say perfectness? Perfection, digital perfection you have today. It kind of feels more alive in some way, you know what I mean? So that's pretty cool. I really enjoy this pack and also what you created with this pack. So that's pretty cool. Thank you very much. Maybe I should post a link. Can I copy this over? So, just in case you don't know what I'm talking about, there you go. That's the Analog Dreams pack. Okay, let's go to the next picture. How many pictures do we? Holy crap. Okay, there's a lot. Okay, maybe we have to go a little bit faster. Oh, okay, that's also interesting. It's by Hugo. Baureihe 95. The Mountain Queen, basically, is the translation. Die Bergkönigin. So this is basically based on a black and white picture, which is interesting. And they often also have this kind of discoloration in a little bit another way. But I think violet here is pretty good. You often see like this also a blue tone, like this kind of metallic blue that's in there for analog film. Although I couldn't tell you exactly why that happens. I think it has to do something with the silver that was used. I'm not sure. I have no idea. I have different stuff. They also suggest these kind of colors, a little bit of sepia sometimes. Although sepia was more like an active effect that they applied to the picture. I think the blue also is more like an active effect. But that looks really cool. Very nice also with the vignette around again. And it's interesting, like, I think when I do another version of this kind of pack, I should do more of these kind of vignettes that have a color effect on them. Because I just added them because I thought maybe someone wants to have this kind of lomography effect or this kind of, like, colorized vignette. But it's used a lot more than I expected. I think most people would like these kind of gray vignettes that just get darker to the sides. But apparently a lot of you really enjoy these, to have the kind of color around it. And it looks cool. It looks great. Yeah. Very nice. Thank you very much, Hugo. Let's go on to the next one. Wow, that's also very nice. Oh, and in square, which gives it that kind of Polaroid look, you know, automatically every time. Either it's Polaroid or it's this kind of Hasselblad, you know, like them. What is it, by the way, called? The English title. Mittelformat is German. Is it called full frame in English? Mittelformat camera? 1 second, let's look that up. Medium format camera. Okay, yeah, of course, medium format camera. Right. Okay, cool. So, very cool work. What does he, Lars has posted this as a photo from Pixabay user Pixels. Okay, interesting. I used a free version of the pack. Thanks for the free pack and the interesting tutorial. Absolutely. Yeah. And by the way, also with the free pack, you get the 30-minute online course to show you how everything in the pack works, not just with the paid versions. Yeah. It's really nice. It has kind of this What kind of age was it? Like 70s or something? 70s kind of look. So that's pretty cool. Also with the classic German, and now I can't remember. I always wanted to have a car like that. What's the name? A Volkswagen, right? But what's the name of this? The Beetle, of course, the Volkswagen Beetle. Right. Oh, there was also, wasn't there a car that was called the Duck, the Ente? This is the one I always wanted. This one. This is the one. Yeah. Oh no, it's from Citroën. Oh, I didn't know. Okay. So there's the difference between the Käfer, which is called in German Käfer, and the Ente. Yeah. Oh wow. Old times. Okay. Interesting. They look kind of similar. This one has more kind of like this more edgy look, and some interesting features. Like for example, as you can see here, you could roll back the top, so you basically had a cabrio, which is pretty cool. I'm not sure if the Beetle could do that. Oh no, they also had this kind of thing, but I'm not sure if it opened as much as the other one here. You can see like this really opens up everything here. And for this, I think it looks like it's just a little bit in the middle here, but I'm not sure about that. I don't know. Yeah, but both are like really iconic cars. I think this one is not as famous today. Maybe because they made a new Beetle and they didn't make a new Käfer. New Ente. So, yeah. What is the... VW, Citroën, yeah. For your birthday. Wow, that would be amazing. Although I don't even have a driving license. Recently I thought like, as a week ago, I thought maybe I should get a driving license to like drive around, explore a little bit more, stuff like that. Also now that I want to do all this kind of filming stuff, I have so much stuff I would have to bring with me if I travel, that a car would be nice, you know. Let's go back to the picture. Sorry, I was sidetracked again. It's a very nice combination. Again, really cool. By the way, I'm looking at it right now. Did you use a beveled effect up here? Because this looks like 3D-ish up here. Looks very different. You see this here? That looks like it's like a metal kind of frame, and this image looks a little bit sitting lower. So maybe either you use the inside shadow or a beveled effect. It looks like it. Maybe it's not. Maybe you use a different kind of blend mode to make it look like that. It's interesting. Because it isn't completely black or dark. It looks like it's something that sits on top of the picture. That's interesting. Huh. All right, but the rest looks really cool. There's a little bit here of this kind of light leaks, which looks in this case more like a discoloration, like a chemical kind of effect on the surface, but it's pretty cool still. Looks very, very nice. Interesting. Very cool elements also in here. Is everything you want, like the henna tattoos on the hands and hair, braided hair, and the Coca-Cola thing up here, and the surfboard. Like they put everything in there. Interesting. And of course this old suitcase. Right, interesting. Huh. Okay. Let's go to the next one by Rushab. Wow, okay, that's pretty intense. Namaste. Namaste, thank you. Namaste is hello, right? Is it hello or how are you? I think it's hello. I don't know what that says. The Andamans? Is that a region, the Andamans? I don't know. Okay, interesting. It's very pink, I would say, but if that's the look you're going for, that's okay. Also, it's really interesting that in this case, like you are the first person who uses this these kind of spots or blotches here in color. So that's also nice. They look like watercolor dripped onto the picture, but it's actually a really good idea. I didn't even think about doing this. The Andaman Nicobar Islands. Interesting. Andaman Nicobar Islands. Let's have a look real quick. Maps. Oh. Okay, I've never heard of them. Oh, they're east of Thailand. No, west of Thailand, sorry. West of Burma. Ooh. Never heard of them. Is that its own country or is it part of a country? Maybe it's part of Indonesia? I don't know. Or maybe it's part of Burma. Interesting. So there's just a little bit of islands in here. Huh. I've never realized that there's some stuff. I was here and here. Huh. Interesting. Okay, cool. Thank you very much. Well, there's always something to learn. Very cool. So this is a very kind of different use. I really like it. It's still very nice. Has this kind of sunset vibe on it. And if you look just in the middle part here, like this part, it looks like a VHS tape. Like the color is like there is intense color and the light is intense and it's just too much for the camera and the tape to handle. So you get this kind of discolorations. But overall, it's pretty nice. And very creative use of these kind of spots here to color them and make them look like watercolor spots. So that's pretty interesting. Very nice. And you even added a little bit of thunder over here, like lightning. Sorry, lightning strikes. That's interesting. Okay, I guess they are supposed to be cracks in the surface and not lightning that's coming here in from the side. Is it part of... I don't think that those are part of my texture, right? Because the textures, they look different. Okay, interesting. Thank you very much. Very nice font also. Pretty cool. It's a... What? Oh, what? This is an Indian territory. I wouldn't have thought. But it's so far east. Wow, that's interesting. This is India. Okay. Wow. Huh. Okay, thanks. Thanks for telling me. Pretty cool. Thanks also for posting the image. Really nice. Aha, here we have a really old vintage picture. What is this? The first selfie in history. Okay. Oh, and you even named the different discoloration effects and cracks and vignettes you used. Okay, interesting. Oh, and you try to make it look like the guy here is holding the phone to take the picture. Okay, that's really interesting. Very nice. Okay. It's a funny idea. It's also very nice how this is used. Maybe it's turned out a little bit dark, but still it's pretty cool. Very nice, very creative also. That's cool. A lot of stuff going on here, and I think like it's nice how you blended these two pictures together. It's really like it looks like he's leaning into a little bit to get both of them onto the picture. So that's pretty nice. Yeah. Very cool. Thank you, Jean-Loup. Really cool work. Really interesting. Yeah. Very nice. Okay, let's go on to the next picture. Twen was showing a picture of some singers. This was a photo taken of a play. Oh, that's a play. Okay. On a square in Hungary in 2008. I think the man with the mustache must be Stalin. Really? I gratefully use Olivio's effects. Okay, you're welcome. Mona Lisa. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know who the other guy is, by the way. I know this is Mona Lisa, but I don't know who that is. And by the way, you can see in both pictures that back in the day, it was not seen as normal to smile in a picture. That's kind of a new thing that came with photography. Before, you don't really have smiling people in pictures unless they wanted to express a certain kind of emotion or show that they are drunk or crazy or stuff like that. Or have achieved a victory or stuff, but not if you portrait someone. It was very unusual to smile in those kind of pictures. You can see in this kind of, yeah. All right. Okay, let's go back here. So this is a play. Interesting. It's a very nice effect, and I like this kind of... it looks actually like it's printed on paper, and this looks like it's from an old kind of maybe a news magazine or something. It doesn't have the kind of printing grit in there, but it feels like it's on kind of a fading paper, you know, like if you have a poster or you have a picture in your room, it's too long in the sunlight. So this, the colors in here have this kind of fadedness from too much sunlight rather than from this kind of chemical processes you have. Even if you close the photo album over time, the pictures like get a very strange, different color. Yeah. Oh no, really? That is Da Vinci? Okay, I didn't realize. Uh-huh. Interesting. Let's see. Because I know this picture of him. But he looks like Gandalf here. No, wait. Who is the guy from Harry Potter? Gandalf is from Lord of the Rings. I'm talking about the other guy. I can't remember. Anyways. Okay. I did not realize. There's a picture where it looks like him. Okay. Ah, there we go. Okay. I had no idea. Huh. Yeah, the more you know. Pretty cool. Good. Let's go on. Okay. So thank you, Twen. Really cool picture. Very nice. Use of the colors. So yeah. Very, very cool. I thought for a second, I thought this is an old paper structure back here, but those are the trees. But it really is a very nice vintage effect. So it's pretty cool. Dumbledore. Yes, Dumbledore. Okay. Very nice. Okay, there goes Eileen Russell. Thank you, Olivia. It was good fun to use this one. I use own photo of pelicans. Ah, yeah. Thank you. You're very welcome. A very nice picture of pelicans. Really cool. Very nice. It's always amazing to me how these kind of birds can like stand on these kind of, because you can see they can't grab it. They just stand on there. Like it's nothing. It's really interesting. Huh. But it's a really cool effect. Very nice use of the colors and of these kind of cracks. And you see it's interesting to like you can guide a little bit the eye also with the cracks and to avoid like the most important parts. Like you can see here, it's very nice that this makes a little bit of a frame around the head here, but the head itself doesn't have too much cracks on it. There's a little bit of stuff in here, so it doesn't like interfere too much with that. It's really cool that you can move them around and even like hide them by like masking them or like erasing them. So there's a lot of flexibility in those. It's pretty cool. You also, I think, did you also use like these kind of spots with a little bit of color on there? Because here this is a little bit green on the side. So that's really interesting. I did not think about using this as a colored effect. You see also down here, it looks colored. Maybe it's not. It looks a little bit green to me, but maybe it's just gray and my eyes play tricks on me because of the other colors in here. That's a pretty good idea. Very nice. But this one certainly looks green. I don't know. Huh. But you will be surprised sometimes if you pick these colors and you realize there is something completely different. This could also be blue. Because our eye adjusts the colors in our mind. So sometimes we see completely different colors than are actually there in a picture. All right. Thank you very much, Eileen. Very nice picture. Very nice effects applied to that. Really cool. Yeah, thanks. It's also nice, again, like here's a bit warmer, but over there is a bit cooler. So you can really guide and like use it for showing your story, stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. For example, you could make this area here warmer to bring them together and then have this area a little bit cooler over here to isolate this guy a little bit. So you can do some really interesting things with these kind of discolorations, you know. So very nice. Oh, wow. Adamski. I don't know what sauce means. It's kind of an internet thing. I don't know. So this looks more like a painting. That's really interesting. I think you blurred the picture on top because you have all these kind of blurry streaks around most of the elements. This looks really like an old schooly, either like a painting or like one of these prints where the color is going a little bit over and into other areas because they didn't have this kind of strong, precise printing machines. And so it gets a bit of this kind of dream quality. So really interesting also. Very nice effect. Very different from the intended use of the pack. But that's a good thing. Like you can do with that whatever you want and be creative with that. Because like for me, like I want to give you a starting point to do something, to tools to make it easier to do creative things. But you can use it in any way you want. So that's pretty cool. There's this kind of scratches in here. Or maybe those are one of these, oh god, I don't, like hairs, you know, fibers in the textures that I provided. If you like made them really big, you could make one of these fibers also really big in here. Maybe that's what's happening here. So there's a streak here. But it's really interesting, very nice, very different. Thank you very much. Pretty cool. I like also the shadows. They look like they're from, like this is kind of liquid down here, you know? Like these kind of reflections you get from water with these thin, bright lines and then shadow or like darker areas in between. It looks like that. Really interesting. Okay, let's go on to the next one. How many more do we have? Okay, I need to go a little bit quicker. Hamish says, this is my photo of Bamberg Castle plus a number of Olivio's analog effects. Great pack once again. You're very welcome. Thank you for that. Where do we upload photos for this event? 1 second before we I have this group here on Facebook like that. And I make a challenge every week, as you can see here. So it says week challenge with the week number. And then I describe what to do in that week. And you can post them, but there's a deadline that ends 1 hour before the stream starts because it would be too confusing to do it during the stream that people upload things, stuff like that. So I mostly post it on Friday or Saturday. So tomorrow or the day after, I post a new exercise. So we have almost a week to work on that. Which was the picture? This one, right? Okay. Pretty cool. Very nice. It's a bit intense from the colors maybe, but it's pretty cool still. Very nice. I also like this kind of glitch effect here on the side. Let's open this in a new tab. You can see here like there is this like much brighter, much different kind of area here. Either you didn't move the texture over all the way, or this was intentional, but it looks pretty cool. It looks more like a digital glitch in that kind of case, but still very interesting. Very nice effect. So that's very cool. And that kind of is really interesting. A lot of people who of the submissions have more of these color effects around the border, but then the main subject stays more into the original color, which of course is understandable. You don't like, you want to have you want to preserve the original impression there. Don't change that too much, but still have this kind of analog look in there. So that's really interesting. That's happening. I will take that into consideration for the next pack. Not the next pack for the next month, but the next analog pack whenever that will be happening. So yeah, pretty cool. Very nice. Thank you very much for posting that. All right, let's go on to the next one. Nielsen. Oh, wow. Okay. Says an image from me. Try as an analog look. Wait, what's here? A little Gaussian blur. Yeah, maybe. On this other one. To make it like a little bit softer. Maybe, yeah. That's, yeah, maybe if it's a bit softer in some areas at least, you know, like this kind of, you have this kind of, is it called a lens blur? There's kind of a blur effect where the middle stays sharp and then the parts around that get softer. Maybe that would be interesting for this one, to make it a little bit more soft. So that could be an interesting thing. You're right. Okay, let's look at the picture of Niels. Very nice again. Very nice effect. This one, like, there's so many. Like, it's interesting how when you look at these kind of effects, you think about different kind of analog mediums. For example, here I more look at this kind of Super 8 film. Was it called that in America too? It's kind of these. Let's go here. These kind of things here that you have for like 8mm movie, like very thin movie for at home, to create these kind of videos. Super 8 cameras, and I think this looks like more like a Super 8 still from a film, which is really cool, very nice. Maybe also from the format, because it's like this 4:3 format. I think Super 8 has 4:3. I'm not sure. Yeah, there's a lot of things, a lot of references. It's really interesting. Huh. Cool. It's very nice. Very nice combination. Also, like, I like how a lot of the elements in the picture are red, and then the discoloration also picks up this kind of red color. Down here it goes a little bit violet where the ground is. So it brings all the elements together. It feels very like it should be like that. So that's very nice. I think like it looks here like you made maybe a mask here to remove the effects down here a little bit, because here it has like stronger color, there it is less compared to up here, for example. But maybe it's just also because of this kind of color vignette. Let's open this up in a new one. So maybe it's just because of the vignette that's running around here in that kind of area. So that's pretty cool still. Yeah. I think I would like it more if this was equally discolored as over here. But yeah, pretty cool. Very nice. Well, looks very authentic, I would say. Very, very cool. Okay, next one is by Ronan? How do you pronounce that? Ronan. Let's say Ronan for the moment. My first challenge. Okay, pretty cool. Wow. That's a snow bus. I don't think I've ever seen something like that. Not in this kind of vintage car design. Pretty interesting, from Yellowstone. Okay, cool. Ron 1? Like the English pronunciation, Ron 1? Is that it? Interesting name, Ron 1. Okay. Cool, thank you. Very nice. Oh, you kind of edit. Ah, okay. I think this is. Do I have one of the grains that have this kind of motion blur effect, or did you add that? Because it looks a little bit stormy back there from these kind of sideways going effects in the picture. So that's pretty interesting. Yeah. It looks very nice. It looks very interesting. You have some, like maybe some of those are a little bit strong in here, color-wise. Like they look like they're actual elements in the sky that are happening, that there's something there. And there's this kind of white, like brighter edge down here. I'm not sure what happened here, why this, like you see there's this kind of gap. Let's open this up. There's this, whoops. Okay. There's this kind of gap here. So the effect goes until here and then it stops for some reason. Oh no, it goes on. Ah, this has to do something with the blend mode. I see. Okay. In those cases, you could maybe go in, like make a pixel layer below that. Some sirens out there, okay. And then maybe paint over that a little bit to make the background darker. So if you want that, of course, only. But it looks kind of strange if you zoom out here, that there's suddenly this effect ends here, doesn't apply to that area. So play around with that a little bit more. And these look a little bit strong up here. Again, if you like it like that, that's okay. I'm just saying. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. But I like it. It's really cool. I like also this blue, and then you have this kind of blue light leak here. So it has kind of a very nice feeling, a little bit like an old monitor, you know? An old kind of screen. What was the name of these old screens? They have been called. I can't remember. Did they even have a name? They have a specific name, but not in the public, because there was just like one type of screen. Now you have so many different types. So, in German it's called the Brownsche Röhre, I think. let's check this out. Yeah, there we go. Brownsche Röhre. That's the thing. So, but I'm not sure if this TV was called like that. Röhrenfernseher. That's this is what we called it, a Röhrenfernseher. Although there wasn't any other type of Fernseher, so we just called it Fernseher most of the time. Let's see what the English word for that is. Oh, tube television, really? Okay, interesting. Is this where YouTube comes from? No. Tube television. Okay, interesting. Right, so pretty cool, very nice. Very cool effect. I would like look out for these to maybe blend them a little bit better, or maybe in another like combination or other spot. I mean, they fit in here, but it's kind of, you have the light leak and then suddenly it's getting dark down here. So maybe combine, maybe not have it in here so the light leak has its own kind of area. It's like, it fights a little bit with itself, the different kind of effects, but it's still pretty cool, you know? It's always like, think about what you want to go for, because it's just like, I would do it maybe a bit different, but you don't have to if you think that's the kind of look you want to go for. Okay, pretty cool. Thank you very much. Let's go on to the next one. CRT, cathode ray tube. Oh, interesting. Okay. Really? YouTube comes from the CTR tube? Interesting. I didn't know that. Interesting. Okay, cool. So there's one from Arthur. Fun exercise. Oh, that is nice. Okay. So this is like really old-timey vintage sepia looking black and white picture, basically, based on a modern picture of a early robot. Like imagine back then we had the first robots like that with this kind of level of sophistication. They had like, I think they had robots for some 100 years, like not maybe some 100 years. What were the first robots? It's kind of like they had these mechatrons stuff, not mechatrons. What's the name of those things that like they move, but just a little bit. They do like certain kind of, is it a mechatron? I don't think so. I'm thinking about something else. No, Mechatron is a guy from a... They are... No, they had it way before the 50s. I think they even have it back in the old, antique, ancient Roman world. They had the first... Like, not robots who do dishwashing. That's not what I'm talking about. It's just like they do little things, like they pretend to play a trumpet a little bit, stuff like that. What is the name of those? I thought it was something with Tron in there. Automaton. Thank you, Colin. Automaton, right. Yeah, these kind of things here, which could do amazing things. Like, for example, this one, you should watch the video. This one could write text, which is really impressive. Not any kind of text. They had like a specific kind of thing that I think either he writes or he draws something. We could look in here real quick, just for a second. Is there the video? Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked again. But it's like this is maybe also part of it. Let's have a look here. Let's turn the sound off. No, he actually does write something. You see there's also eye movements and stuff? Yeah, he wrote something. Isn't that amazing? And this is like pretty old, this kind of thing here. I don't know how old that is, but probably it says in the other text. And they had older stuff than that. 18th century, this one, maybe. Yeah, but this was around for, they had stuff like that for a long time. All right, so let's go back to the pictures. Oh, that's a very nice touch with these kind of text elements down here. Can you remember when you had like the analog film cameras and they were like printing into the negative film the date and the time even? Did they do time? I'm not sure they did time. Maybe the more sophisticated ones, but I know that they did, they stamped in the date, which is interesting to have that. Is that actually old picture? Because all these kind of things, they look kind of old-timey. The design of these two boats here looks old-timey. Maybe this is actually an old picture. I don't know. Very nice. Huh. Very cool. It looks very authentic, I would say. Very cool. Okay, thank you, Oliver. By the way, sorry I didn't name you. We call it wife. Okay. Don't tell that. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, pretty cool. Very nice picture. Very convincing. I really like that one. And also this kind of like, these kind of, is this a, what is it called? An oleander, maybe? This kind of plant. It's also kind of vintage, don't you think? Like they used to be in back in the day, like 80s or something. When you went to Italy or Greece or something, you saw a lot of those. I'm not sure you see them today, or at least they're not, you don't see them as often in pictures, stuff like that. Maybe because even also back in the 80s and stuff like that, Greece and Italy for Germany was more of a tourist destiny, not so much Asia, because it was more of like if you could afford to travel there, most people travel closer to home because it was affordable. So you saw more of these kind of pictures. So maybe this is why I'm thinking about that. Really interesting. Very, very cool pictures. Thank you very much. Okay. Let's go on to the next one by Linda. Young Love. Okay. Pretty cool. And this is like a, how do you say, horizontal format. Pretty cool. No, not horizontal, vertical. I always mix them up. I cannot remember the difference, you know. It's really strange. Like with my mind, some things don't click in my head. Looks like a postcard. Yeah, it looks very much like a postcard. Pretty cool. Like the other one, the like maybe it's in Italy or something. I don't know. It looks very Italian. Or is it like, we could even, no, it says Italia here. Haha. Detective Olivio already on the case. Does it say Italy here? No, it says something different. I thought it says Italy. We could probably find out what that says. Restaurant? Traun? I don't know what that says. Huh. Portrait. Yeah, portrait. It's a good... Alm. Does it say Alm? I don't think so. Anyways, okay. Let's go back to the picture. I'm getting sidetracked again. Oh, one thing you can always do, copy the link, go to Amazon Pictures, and then you can click on this icon here, enter the link, and boom. It will load the picture, and then you can see similar pictures. Ah, there we go. And we have found it. That's how quick that goes. So this is actually Italy, Gardasee. Okay, interesting. Okay. So this is a really quick way to find something on the internet. Pretty cool. All right. So that's actually Italy. Good. Let's go with the next picture. All right. So thank you, Linda, for the for posting that one. This is more subtle, I would say. Pretty interesting, but very cool. It was still very nice picture. And yeah, again with the vignette frame around it, so it looks really kind. Would you say it's a vignette frame? How would you call this kind of frame? I called it vignette because it goes darker. It's not just like a negative film frame. It also has this kind of vignette that actually gets darker into the into the picture. I'm not sure. Maybe there's another name to call that. But it's a very, very nice subtle edit. Sometimes it doesn't have to be too extreme. Like, it's often better to tone it down a little bit, to not go too extreme on the colors and effects, because often it's like a little bit, you get excited and then you overdo it, and then it's easily too much. So to tune everything down a little bit is often kind of a good way to make it, how can I say, yeah, make it look a little bit better, maybe. You know what I mean? So, but you can save a file and then come back some days later with fresh eyes, look at it again and see if you still like the effects, or maybe if they jump at you at that moment. So, yeah, but this one is very nice. Very subtle, but very believable. So it's a really cool vintage effect photo. Also, I think, like, I'm not sure if this is part of the original picture or not, but I like that this is like blurry on the outside and more sharp on the inside. Really nice. Okay, thanks. Let's go on to Barbara. Wow, okay. Wow, there's a lot of stuff going on here. Let's have a look at the chat real quick before we go on. Pop out of the background. Yes, absolutely. That's very nice. How they, like, there's a difference between the background and the people in the picture. That's very nice. And this is also why I like to use vignettes on a lot of my pictures, is because it just focuses on the middle or on the main subject. If you push the vignette effect a little bit to the side, this is why I made this tutorial about custom vignettes, so you can have it on the left or wherever you want in the picture, so you can highlight it a little bit and then hide the other parts a little bit more, so the focus is there. You guide the eye by this kind of effect. All right, so Barbara says, been playing with making a lava lamp, and from a very overexposed pic added an analog discolor, vignette and a grain. It was fun. Really? Okay, so this is basically an accidental picture, but it looks really cool. Very nice. Kind of reminds me also of this kind of vintage art of using these kind of overexposing effects and stuff like that to make pictures more abstract and get away from the original subject, and more about the texture, about the structures, about the elements that in there, and think about kind of, how I say, the kind of rhythm you get in these kind of structures, not in displaying like a glass of wine with some stuff in there, but right now it's getting more flat and it looks like a 2D structure, and you can think about all these kind of different elements and shapes and colors and contrasts and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. Very nice combination. And accidents often give you the kind of the most interesting results on, like, going into a new area or kind of exploring new kind of visual effects. I also like this kind of double exposure. Let's open this up here again. That's going on here on the edges. That's very nice. Makes it more dreamy also. And it's really interesting because maybe this is what happened during the photograph. Maybe it's an effect of this kind of accidental picture, because you have this double exposure here, but you don't really have it on the fruit or whatever it is down here. It looks, for me, it looks like grapes, but probably it's oil or something in that sparkly water. So yeah, pretty cool. Very nice effect. Thank you very much for posting that. It's really interesting how many different things people made with this kind of effect, because I thought, I was a little bit afraid that all the pictures look kind of the same, but they're very different. So I'm really happy about the results. Wow. Okay. Interesting. So this one is from Ingo. Played around with the Mexican mask. Thanks for the fun exercise. You are very welcome. It's pretty cool. This looks like it's in Berlin, but maybe there is more of these sculptures in other cities also. Maybe in Rome? Is that in Rome? Maybe? I don't know. Very nice. Pretty cool effect and combination. And again, like this kind of how the color is flowing. And it's kind of nice to always a little bit think about what kind of colors do I want to have there, what kind of impression do I want to have with the picture. So this kind of spooky face mask, and then you have this kind of eerie green in the background, which goes into this blue, and then kind of a nice warmer sky up there. It's kind of a nice gradient going on for this kind of story, for this kind of situation. So that's very nice. And I also like this very strong grain, basically, that's going on here. The very strong colorized noise also that's on the picture. It's very cool. And you have a little bit of a light leak that's coming in here from the side. It's also like the same position as this discoloration here, or like the same angle. So fits very nice together. Very cool. Thank you very much. The photos from Unsplash. Okay, interesting. Yeah. But it's a very nice picture and very nice use of the different effects on the picture. Very cool. All right. Thank you very much, Igor. Was it Igor? Ingo, sorry. Thank you very much, Ingo. Okay, how many more? Oh, okay, just 3. Okay, good. This is one, is again from Barbara. Oh. Just one picture? Yeah, just one picture per person, please. We can still look at it because it's just 3 more, but please don't, like, on average post more pictures than the one picture, because then the list is getting too long. Please do not miss my photo. Did I miss your photo? Which one is yours? Colin, Jonita, Barbara? I post many. Yeah, but did you... Oh, reload. Usually you cannot enter pictures after the stream has started. Like you see up here, it says like on the beginning. Here it says until 4th of June, 8 p.m. CEST, which is my local time here. Because otherwise I would like reload and it's getting confusing, stuff like that. Oh my God, you posted a lot of pictures. Just one entry also. Just one entry, not like 5 of them, which I'm really appreciating that you're taking part. And you're excited about taking part, but like still rules and stuff. Okay, but I see them. I will look at them. Don't worry. Okay. By the way, it's like only the last version is like the version to look at, because they seem to be iterations of that. Only the last one. Okay, I see. Good. So let's look at these other pictures first. This is nice because I first, when I like looked at the small version, I thought this is what are the things called with the 4 wings? The long ones that can curl up. Those are I can't remember. Do you know the insects that I mean? They have 4 wings and a long body, like really long, like a stick. Dragonflies. Yes, I thought this is a dragonfly. Thank you very much. Damselflies. I've never heard about that. Okay, thank you very much for telling me. So it's pretty interesting. It is kind of, it looks like transparent here because the background has the same color. Libelle. Yeah, Libelle is the German word for that. So very different word from dragonfly. Very nice, very cool. Again, like this is another picture where these corners, like I have seen this in several pictures that the corners are bright here, which is interesting. I don't know if this is intentional or maybe you put an effect, like an overlay over the vignette, didn't put it on top. It can also be cool. It's maybe less invasive to the picture because the vignette gets softer that way. Because sometimes it can be a little bit too dark, a little bit too intense to have this kind of black corners and black line around the picture. So for this, probably it's better to have these kind of softer edges here. So it's pretty cool. Very nice. Very interesting. Again, this one has, is this an effect of the blending or like an effect of masking this element? Because again, you can see here you have this kind of edge that is going on, this kind of glow, not glow, but like a negative glow. It goes like it has this kind of darker shine around it. That's kind of strange. I would think that this is a mask where you kind of reduce the effect from that area. So just look at that. I mean, I could understand that you want to have a little bit of a darker border around them so you can see them, differentiate them from the background because they are very close from the color and they maybe would fade into the background. But at the same time, it feels like there's something has gone wrong during the editing. So to find a creative way around that, or maybe make that like a little bit bigger, this kind of fade from the dark area to the brighter area. So it doesn't look like a mistake. It looks more like an intentional kind of thing that's happening. But the rest is really cool. Very nice and soft and dreamy. Very nice a combination of the colors also. Thank you very much. Barbara, thank you very much for posting this. To the faded corners. Yeah. When you change the opacity, they go bright like that. Yeah. Okay. There's one from Juanita. I used a Lomo vignette and a cracked brush that I have to create. What? That I have to create a vintage look. Okay. I took on a recent hiking trip. Okay, cool. You're welcome, Junita, for the effects, of course. Absolutely, and thank you for posting that. One thing that stands out to me when I look at the picture is that this looks a little bit crushed. Like you try to instead of stretching the vignette and the effect on top of the picture, you did the opposite and how do you say? You move the picture together. So this guy looks a little bit short, I think. Maybe that's just a perspective also, but it looks like everything is a little bit crushed together. That could be the perspective. Otherwise, it's pretty cool. The cracks are dark here, which you can see that they are overlaid over the picture. So that's kind of a strange effect. You can see here in some parts, you can see the waves through the cracks. And usually these cracks, at least in the way that I've intended them, where's a picture where we have the cracks? They are more like the cracks where the chemical surface has broken and you see the paper behind them. So you wouldn't see any kind of picture there. And this is kind of like an inverted use where you have this kind of dark areas, which maybe could happen, but I don't think it would happen as a crack. So that's maybe a bit strange, I would say. But yeah, maybe that's a look you're going for. I would do it the other way around to make the cracks brighter. I mean, the background here is also bright, but you don't have to have that many cracks and not everywhere. So you can put the cracks in maybe down here, an area where it's darker. And it's really interesting. It's also interesting that you made at the same time this kind of vintage effect or analog effect, and you made an effect where you desaturated the picture and then only have the skin parts colorized. But you also have this kind of color vignette on the rest of the picture, which is maybe a little bit of a, how do you say, disagreement between the two effects. I'm missing the word right now that I want to say, because if there apparently can be color in the picture in these areas, why isn't the picture colored? You know what I mean? So I would either use this kind of effect or use this kind of effect, but then maybe change the color a little bit so it has more of this kind of effect you see in black and white pictures, like yellow or bluish kind of degrading of the picture. Not this kind of pink effect. I'm not sure you would see pink effects of this grading with black and white pictures usually. Let's see what... if it's a brush, then paint it with white. Okay. Yeah, you're welcome. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, interesting. Good. All right. Thank you very much. Pretty cool. Very interesting effect. Here's another one from Colin. As soon as this challenge came up, I knew which picture I wanted to use. I took it 3 years ago and had been thinking of giving it a makeover in this style for a long time. Okay, that's pretty cool. Again, you're welcome for the tools, of course. Pretty cool. Very nice. Very nice combination of like the colors and this kind of old blue and old yellow that's coming together here. That's fitting really well. Whoops. Let's zoom that out a little bit. Fitting really, really well with the elements in the picture, which is nice because you can really imagine. I think like when I look at this side here, I think that this and this probably also was white, and then you have this kind of discolor effect that makes it yellow. At least it's what I'm assuming right now, but it fits very well because it looks like this kind of old vintage yellow kind of thing you would have here over time from the discoloration. So that's pretty cool. Very nice. Also, of course, like it's always nice if you have something that is already vintage in the picture and then put a vintage effect on it. Like they approve of each other, so it's more convincing, basically. So that's very cool. Also, this kind of dirt spot up here is also nicely integrated. And you can see like here compared to the other picture where I said it's going maybe in the wrong areas, that this kind of spot stays up here, but this doesn't go into these areas down here. So it's kind of, it has its own place. It has its own kind of way where you can appreciate this kind of effect and degrading of the picture over time, but it stays in its own spot without interfering into the other parts. So that's very nice. Also with the cracks, it's very cool. Very nice. Good work. Thank you very much. Let's close this and that. So thanks, Colin. Okay, let's look at the last picture and then let's do some editing. Okay. There's a picture by Maria. Thank you very much for watching my stream and posting the picture. Here's the old looking at last one doing with thing with the photo while you give credit. Okay. I want you to look at. Interesting. It's an interesting effect. So like apparently you combine two different pictures or like one picture rotated and combined with each other. So yeah, that's very nice. Again, you have this kind of thing where these cracks are dark instead of bright, but maybe that's a look you want to have in the picture. So apparently, like I said, the feedback I'm giving is based on my kind of experience, but maybe people also like this kind of other look, so that's also good. That's okay with me. It looks really interesting. Could be like a CD cover for a music group or something. Reminds me a little bit from the clothing of the, what were they called? Like this old family band? The Kelly family. It looks a little bit like that. From the kind of vibe that you get from the image. But the combination of this kind of soft pink colors, and then you have this kind of dreamy blue in here, like greenish blue, that's kind of very nice. And yeah, also like fits together with the person in the picture, has this kind of vintage looking nice hair, a little bit wavy hair. So yeah, very nice effect. Also this down here, I don't know what that is, but it looks pretty nice, pretty cool. Thank you very much. It's interesting. Wait, let's look at the chat. CD cover, so please you you will get for this for cover. Okay. Yeah, no, it could really be like a folk song vintage CD cover or LP cover, stuff like that. Okay, thank you very much. Really cool, very nice. A lot of entries this week, so really cool. Thanks for all the cool stuff. All right, let's do some editing. Oh, by the way, I should see if some people want to join. Yeah, 4 people want to join. Let's do this real quick. Approve all. Boom, there we go. Okay, thanks for joining. We now have way over 1,000 members. Let's have a look here. 1,148. That's pretty awesome. So many people in here. 54 new members this week, so that's pretty awesome too. All right. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah, good. Let's do some editing here. Let's see. Start Affinity Photo here, of course. We could also, let me change to the talk view real quick. There we go. Okay. We can do some chatting. I have to prepare some stuff here. 1 second. So use the chat, please. There we go. Let me check here real quick before I set this up. Okay. Oh, I also made this picture. Okay. 1 second. Okay, good. Let's close this down. And where's my pic? There we go. Okay. Let's go to Unsplash. And I wanted to open this picture from last time. Instagram. Here we go. This one. Okay, let's switch over again. Work live. There we go. Okay. Whew. What does the chat say real quick? Use a background for one of us. Next week, use a background from one of us writing here, maybe. I could technically do that. That would be interesting. The problem is, of course, I always need to get the approval of that person. And because I want to keep the video on for like, although the picture is in my video anyways. I could do that, yeah. I can ask people if they can, if I can use their picture. That might be pretty cool. Yeah. All right. So last week I did this kind of picture. I thought we could maybe do a little bit more with these kind of effects this week to dive into that a little bit more. And also this kind of last time we did this picture here with these kind of layers of blur. So you can make things look like they are closer or further away from the camera. So that could be an interesting thing to do, kind of combinations like this today a little bit. Wow, we have already streamed 2 hours. So that was a pretty long thing today. Yeah, that would be possible. Like I could write it into the guidelines of the challenge that I can use the pictures, which I use them anyways in the videos, like I said. So I showed them on the screen anyways. All right. I also wanted to do more like a little bit with the kind of vintage pack. So we play around a little bit with that. So we can have a look at this. And okay, this looks very vintage already here. We can let's take this picture here real quick and play a little bit around with things we can or could do or stuff like that. Some maybe additional things to show you, and then we do an Instagram picture. 1 second. Let's go to the downloads folder, open this up, and then maybe cut this a little bit. Not like that. Let's do a 1:1 ratio real quick. There we go. Let's go like that. All right, good. Because I wanted to show you some more things you can do with the pack. So of course, like you go always to place and then to the pack. And again, like now I can also show you with the Pro pack. Like you have all these kind of things in here. You see, you get a lot more textures, of course, with that. And those are the cracks, which are a bit hard to see. You could also, by the way, move those over into your assets. If you do it a little bit bigger, you can see them better. And if you have your assets over here, you could just drag them into there, and then you always have them inside of Affinity Photo. That would be kind of an easy way to have access to them. But a folder is as good. You can also do it with a folder. So we can start with this one, for example. Let's take this spot here. I'll put it over the picture. And what I want to show you here is, okay, so here, let's have this hard light. So this is more extreme. So this is more than it should be. But so you can see the spot a little bit better. And what you can do here is, oh, you need to go. So thank you very much, Maria, for watching. See you in the next live stream or tutorial or in the Facebook group, wherever you have time and want to post something, of course. Thank you, George. Right. Okay. So a cool thing you can do here is with the blend ranges, because you can go in here. And one thing I found really effective with blend ranges is to just click here in the middle, drag this down and move it left to right. And you can see this gives some interesting effects on different areas of the picture, because the left side here, that's the dark side, the right side, that's the brighter parts of the image. So if you move this down, you only partially remove areas of the picture. You can see if I move over here, some of the things get very transparent and are hidden, and the others are not so much. You can see, so you can get like this fine line here. For example, you can hardly see in the picture, but you can also use that as an effect, you see? So this can be really interesting to just have these kind of faint outlines here of this kind of effect. Maybe not on this picture, because on the walls there's already going on a lot of things here, so this is hardly visible. But in general, this is kind of a nice way to do that. And like you can see, you can even introduce more of these kind of handles to move them around. Like you can see here, this is a different effect. Maybe not the effect you want to have in the picture, but just so you know, you can do that, you see? So I can move this over and make now the middle a lot darker, while the edges here stay bright. And maybe that looks good. Let's try out with another blend mode. This could look good with another blend mode, maybe. Yeah, for example here, like subtract. So this is inverted now, but you can imagine like uses where this would be useful, where you have this kind of inverted negative effect on the picture. You know what I mean? Not in this case, but maybe like that could be interesting, you know? So playing around with the effects is really an important part of getting the most out of that, to not just use them, but you see, if I make some kind of extreme settings, what kind of things could I get out of that? Let's go back to the normal, like this hard light blend mode. And you can also like push this down here and do a lot of interesting things, you know? Let's move this over here. So you can see now I can like move this inwards. You can see it looks like a shrinking like shadow, like you see. So this could also be interesting to have this kind of thing, and still you have this kind of outline here. You could maybe remove that, but like here, for example, you get some really interesting effects that you can use. So play around with that. And you can also do this with the light leaks, for example. So let's put one of those in here. Let's go for the light leaks. Where are they? Up here. Let's go for maybe this one is a stronger one. Put them on here. Oh, my cat wants something. Let's go for one where I can see this really strongly. Not. Yeah, let's go to add, which is very extreme, but you can see it better. So again, if I go in here to the blend modes and push this down, you can see that this changes the light leak, and it changes in different areas. And again, you can go like this. So you can see here this kind of structure. I should have chosen a different picture. 1 second. This is zoomed in, by the way. Let's go like that. Let's take this picture. There's less noise in here, less things going on. Open, or let's place this in here. All right, let's go like that. And then I could put this on top. All right, so you can see now with this effect that this gives you a very different look. You see this light leak, and then you move this down and this over, and you get this kind of thing. And that's a completely different kind of look that you can create just by playing around with these kind of settings. Again, down here, you can see, like, let's reset this. From this kind of look, which is nice, you can go to this kind of look, which is also very interesting, very different kind of thing that you can create from that. You see these kind of, there's now kind of a hole in here suddenly, and also up here. So you can do some really interesting stuff with that, like so, you know, so very, very different kind of thing. You can use this, maybe, let's see, in a lot of different ways. Whoa, okay. Interesting. Okay. But can we invert that layer? Oh. Yeah. I want to show something right now. It doesn't work. Okay. Anyways. Let's go to add again. Set the opacity back. Hey, Thomas. Thank you very much. Sorry, what are you saying? Thank you very much for the donation. Really, really appreciate it. Just wanted to say thank you for the tutorials. I'm a total novice and have learned so much from you recently. I shared, but I don't have Facebook account. Yeah, that's sorry. That's a bit of a downside. Some people don't have Facebook. You could do an account just for that. You don't have to add friends or anything on there. So it's just like for that single purpose, and you don't get all the other notifications or stuff like that. So that would be a possibility. And like with Facebook, just the positive part about that is it enables me to do so many things with my community, like these challenges or the mini live streams and all this, like polls and I don't know, there's a lot of different functionality that's in there that is better than on other sites that don't allow me that, you know. And also the moderation and all these kind of features that Facebook groups have that other pages don't have. I tried Reddit, it doesn't work. I tried Discord, doesn't work for me either, because I'm not a chat kind of person in the sense of live chat. So Facebook is really kind of the best option. And Patreon is nice, but doesn't have the features. Again, you can't post comments, pictures there in the comments. By the way, on Reddit, you also can't post pictures in the comments, which is really strange for a page like that. So Facebook seemed to be the best kind of way to do that. So think about maybe creating just an account for that kind of thing. And then you don't have to use it for anything else. And you can use kind of a fake name or whatever, so people don't find you, and you don't have to interact with all of the other people if you don't want to. Like I know, like from the surrounding or your work colleagues or something, you don't want him to be with you on Facebook. You can just say, I don't have a Facebook, but you have an account for that, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? All right. Okay. So, but again, thank you for the donation. You're really, really welcome. All right. What else did I want to show you here, by the way? There were some things. Where's the light leak pack? Oh yeah, with the film grain, but I think I showed that already in the whoops. I need to write a mail to the Affinity team. Why does this change to text? This happens so often to me, and it's really annoying. Oh, this is the free pack. Okay, so let's go to the pro pack. There we have the film grain. And I think I already showed that in the tutorial, that you have this kind of, this pink one. Let's turn this off. And now if you mix that with the, let's go to soft light, for example, and reduce that a little bit. You can see now, if I zoom in here, you can see the grain. It's very faint, but you can still see it. And you see it better if you move it around, you see the structure of that. And this one has a little bit of color. So if you can, do an adjustment of the color, like so. And then you have seen this switches, this changes. This is kind of, I think it's an error maybe in the software. This shouldn't happen if you don't do any adjustments. So you have to set this to erase, and then this goes away. And now what you can do is to adjust the colors of the grain. You see, if I set this to normal again and set this to 100%. So is this the pink one actually? Yeah, pink one. Okay, good. So you can change the color. You can see you can make it like orange or like red or something like that, or green or any kind of color, and make it more saturated if you want to, make it less saturated, or make it darker, make it brighter, any kind of thing you want to. And you couldn't do that if it was black and white. So this is why I added one which has a little bit of color in there. And you can change the grain by just changing the size. So that's kind of an easy way to do that, you know. So again, this picture doesn't fit here, but let's take this picture, and you can see already with the grain, even if it's kind of a faint grain, you can see how much this makes it look a lot more analog than before. So that's a pretty nice kind of effect. And we can make it exactly the same size as the picture. So it's a softer grain. You could even go and set this to a square size like that, and then copy those over. The only thing you have to look out for if you do this, like now you have like a 4 times finer grain, is that you don't have lines in between here. If they are not seamless, you will see kind of a gap or kind of a repeating pattern in there that stands out. So that's one thing to look for. But this is like a way you can make the grain even finer. And now you have, of course, 4 of those, but still, it's finer now. And you can see it makes a lot of impact on that. In that case, you could also group them without this HSL adjustment, and then apply it just to the group, for example, so you don't have to individually adjust them. You know what I mean? If you want to. So yeah, that's kind of an easy way to do these kind of things. Now I can put that on top, and that's of course now too strong, too big also. You can also like crush this down a little bit if you just want to have it on that side. Again, you need to look out that you don't have a line here. Now you can see we have a line here, and if you do a mask, this could give you like a color error. But so you could, like I said before, duplicate this like so, then turn one of the layers off, so you have it as a backup, and then make a nice big brush and set the hardness low. And you can even set the opacity low, and then you can simply like go a little bit here. So you get a soft edge to your light leak, you can see like so. And so now there isn't a border anymore. You see it's kind of a very soft blend over here, and you still have this light leak effect, which only goes partially to the image, you know? And again, you can still go here, do an HSL or like selective color or color balance to adjust the color of this light leak. So there's a lot of possibility in here. Very, very flexible kind of pack to build these kind of effects. You can see here, you can see again, I set it to erase, and now I can move this around and see any kind of color that I want, or make it even a little bit weaker, you see, like that, or make it darker. So there's a lot of possibilities in here. Very, very flexible. It's very nice. You can like exactly get the kind of look you want, and the kind of feel you want for the picture. Yeah. And I feel like, and this is why I included the vignettes, and I like to use the vignettes. You can see right now, if you look at the picture, let's use one of these arrows here. 1 second. Make this red and pointy on one side only. So you can see that down here and also over here you have elements, and they lead out of the picture. You see? So here's something that could catch the eye and is interesting. There is something that leads out with these kind of lines, stuff like that. And also up here, there's stuff that leads out of the picture that kind of guides the eye away from the main attention of the picture, you know? And so often a vignette is a really good way to kind of capture the eye inside of the picture. So let's use this kind of vignette effect here. We can use a smaller one, for example, here. Just set it here on top of everything else. In this case, you can do it differently if you want to. And then just multiply, and there we go. There you go. So that's maybe a little bit too thin of a line. Let's try another one. Let's try a thicker one here. Place. Let's try this one. Maybe that's too much, but we can still move it outwards a little bit. So multiply. So you can see now these areas are more hidden and you look more in the center part. Again, this could be too extreme, but what you can do here, for example, is also you can grab an edge and then hold Control. So this zooms around the edge, and to just make a little bit of these parts visible as far as you want to go into the picture. You don't have to go like this. You can also go like that, like so. That's all right. You see, there's I have a little bit of stuff here. It's hiding that part. It's making that area here darker and also this area. So you're still focused on the center area of the picture. So yeah, it's just some kind of ideas, some kind of tricks you can additionally use there. Let's look at the chat again. Sorry. It shows text because you're opening the document folder in your computer. It's not the software problem. Oh, really? That's the reason? So, but this suggestion doesn't come from Affinity Photo. It comes from Windows. But most of the time it goes all documents, and then depending on let's see. You see, I have now the move tool. I go here to place, and it tells me all documents. Now I go, for example, to the text tool down here, and I'm pretty sure now it will say text, place. No, it says all documents. I don't know why this happens. Sometimes it happens that I open this and it says, let's see if I click on another layer or none at all. Maybe click here in the background, place. No, it says all documents. I couldn't tell you when this happens. What did I use? What other kind of... the erase tool. Let's go to the erase tool, select one of those, or maybe an adjustment. And set place. No, I don't know. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. But you can see I'm still in the same kind of folder. Still documents folder, but it goes to all documents. And sometimes it gets to text for some reason. I don't know why. It's really strange. Or maybe, I don't know. All right. What else does the chat say? 1 second. Does the program perform as well as Photoshop? I would say it does. I think it has a little bit of a problem if you have a lot of different layers, but I think they resolved that with the last updates, because recently I didn't really have problem of it slowing down even if I had a lot of layers. Okay. Do they plan to improve more? Yeah, they always improve their software, so they're constantly working on including new features and new functionality and make it more stable and all these kind of things. So it's pretty good. You start a program. That might be, but it often happens just in between using it. Yeah, they update quite often actually. That's pretty nice. Let's make a new document. Let's go with this. And now let's see, place. No, it's still all documents. I don't know. Sometimes it happens. I have no idea when. All right. Okay, so enough about the pack. Please check it out if you want to. I want to post a link, but I don't know where. Oh, I have it in here, right? I forgot about that. There you go. All right, there we go. Okay. Oh, there's another 2 people. Okay, let's do that. Good. So let's do some stuff on like a new picture. Let's look again for dance and see if we can do some cool effects here. Like the last time, like I showed you, this one. But maybe play around a little bit more with that. So now I know how this works. We can play around. For example, last time I thought that this should have gone the other way. Like the bendy thing, that the red should be in the background or not. No, I thought something should have been different. I'm not sure what. Yeah, that this is the other way around. So the blue is in the front and the red is in the back. From the perspective, not from the colors. The colors stay the same, but this bends into the other direction, if you know what I mean. The curve is going into the other direction. All right, we can play around with that more. I think people also like that kind of effect. There's a picture that we used last time. We can see if this photographer has more good stuff here. No, just one picture. Sometimes it's really strange that they have just one picture of a certain subject and then they go to next. They always, again, only have one picture. Some people have more. Let's see if there's some other stuff down here. Oh my God, sorry. Oh. All right. What else could we do here? One second, I'm just trying to figure out a picture that would be nice to use. They don't have too much dance pictures on Unsplash. Like, oh my God, I'm drinking coffee. It doesn't work. Okay. It's also a nice picture here. Maybe we can work with that a little bit. One second. I will decide on a picture in a second. I'm trying to just like to find one that's interesting. I mean, this one is also nice. We could use this one and then make it not that like colored, but more like skin colored, maybe. Maybe that would be interesting, right? Let's use this one, just so we have something to work on. Let's go to downloads and then go to, I thought I made a new one. I think I closed that again, maybe. Open that up, place that in here. Downloads, there we have it. Let's see if we can put this in the right position and it still has enough place for us to do some interesting stuff here. Yeah, it's actually okay. We could even do some vintage stuff here with the vignette. Okay, so let's leave it like that for the moment. Let's think about how this could work, like coming out of here. I would maybe use the face again? That seems to be a pretty nice effect. Should we go like that and then back here into the light or what? Or like, whoops, let's lock this like so or like so. I want to actually have something that goes behind the body. So we have this kind of 3D effect because that is very powerful to have this kind of thing going on. So maybe let's go like this down here and then up here or something. Let's see. First of all, I want to create with the pen tool kind of a shape here. So it's easy to have kind of a nice round flowing shape. We could go like that, for example. This over here looks a bit harsh. Don't cut off her feet. Yeah, but I need to have the square format for the Instagram kind of look, you know, so I can post it over there. We could maybe move her over a little bit. Let's see. Let's unlock this again. But then we lose the nice light. We could go like this. But we need some space for the for this to move bend down here, because this is pretty wide. You can see from this, from the face, that is a pretty wide shape. If this goes down, it could leave the picture maybe. Let's move this in here. Wait a second, let's move this out again. Let's duplicate the shape. You see, this is always like, it's a nice way to be able to go back. You simply duplicate the layer and then you have the ability to just like undo it by just deleting the layer. That's that. And it's super easy, super fast. Sorry, it takes a bit just to find the right kind of. It's okay, I think. Let's make this wider. Okay, 200. 230. 250. Okay. Let's move this in a bit. Move this maybe down a bit. Yeah, maybe that's good. I don't know if this contradicts. I mean, there is kind of a movement in here. Maybe, I mean, we could follow the movement. This goes in the opposite direction of her movement. Like, it would maybe make more sense if this goes up here and then down there. But I want it to go behind her body. Or we could go like a spiral that then goes over here. Or I don't know. Yeah, I think it will look okay. Okay, let's go with that. So we need to rasterize the background now. And then we can actually rasterize and trim if we leave it at that position. That should be pretty okay. So we need a small cut of her face. So let's copy this. And then we want to, let's take a guideline here. And then, whoops. rotate her face. So this is straight, like so. Or should we maybe, yeah, let's go like that. Okay, good. So let's make another selection here. There's the selection tool. And then take a small slice. Of her face like that. That's snapping to the, there we go. Okay, good. So let's copy that. Okay. Good. Where is the, there we go. So now you simply stretch this out. You see it's like a super simple effect. We want to deselect that. Oh, okay, so now it's just cut it off. Well, that's okay. We don't need the rest, so that's pretty cool. Okay, so you see you can stretch this as far as you want, and now it has like all this kind of pixel stuff here. So this is a long stretch. Let's call this stretch so we know the layer, and then duplicate that. There we go. And then we can simply now bend this down. And this is why I have this curve here, because I need it as a guideline, you see? So I use this, and now I can bend the other stuff along. Let's remove that guide here. I can bend the other stuff along that, so that's pretty easy. So we can start here. Let's move this over here, so we can then rotate that. You see, I have this anchor point here now. I can simply rotate this like so from the start of that point, and then just make it, let's see, let's turn this off again and connect this with her face somehow. I think we took a little bit too much. Yeah, that's still okay. All right, let's go like that. Okay, so now let's take our mesh warp here, and I can now, I think I made this a way too long. Anyways, you can see I can simply bend this down here, which for some reason doesn't follow. Cancel. Why? Let's see, something is wrong here. Okay, I can't click on anything right now. Let's save this real quick. Instagram. Face stretch 2. Did the program crash maybe? Ah, it crashed. Okay. There we go. Close program. Okay. Maybe it was a little bit too big. Bump. Yes, let's click yes. No, that wasn't good. Nope. Let's see if the saving worked. Of course the saving didn't work. Okay, perfect. Okay, let's close this again. Start again. All right, that's that. Not really. If you create a brush, you can't do the effects, so that wouldn't work. that well. You can do stuff. You can do some stuff, but not all of the stuff. Let's do this again real quick. There we go. Okay, let's rasterize this first thing. Boom. Let's save this. Save as. Instagram. Face stretch 2. There we go. Okay. Then we want to make this line, which we already know where it goes. So let's make this maybe a little bit simpler. Put this one up here. Okay. Yeah, that's nicer. All right. I think we had 240. Let's give it 250. All right, there we go. So let's do this again with the face. There we go. Boop, boop, boop. Select the face. Copy that. Rotate it. That's okay. Make a selection here. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. Can delete that part. Zoom out. Let's stretch this. We have to rasterize it. That's an easy way to, like, if this is rotated, you just rasterize it, it snaps back to normal. So that's pretty easy. Let's stretch this to the full extent. And then rasterize it again. No, rasterize and trim. So now we only have that part. And now I can simply put this here as a starting point. You want to rotate this on the edge, like so. So it starts with the face. Okay, so that should be good. And now let's move this in here a little bit more. Let's call this stretch. It's already a pixel layer. Dancer. All right, let's save this again so we don't lose anything. Put this here, put this on top. And then we simply go to mesh warp. And now I can simply pull this down here, and this time it even works. That's great. So you can put this down and then simply move this over. You see? And this is why I have the guidelines, so I can use the guides to see where I'm going. Okay. Maybe we need to switch those. I forgot to copy them. I have to cancel that again. Let's duplicate that because we need the second part, right? So there we have it again. This goes here, I think, and this goes there. Is that correct this time? Let's see. No. Switch them over. All right, there we go. Right, and so you just need to fiddle around now to get the, like, kind of the shape of your tube, because the tube always has the same thickness, so this is kind of a nice way to get that kind of look, if you want to. This is bending over here a little bit. Let's move this down here. There we go. Whoa, this is okay. One second. Let's make this a little bit transparent here. It doesn't let me. It's probably because it's like, yeah, okay, never mind. Let's move this over here. I think I'm again forgetting to, we can attach a part at the end. It's not a problem. Something. I think that's okay. Getting too obsessed with the details here. Yeah, it's good enough. Let's click apply. There we go. So that's the first part. And then we have to, of course, add all the other effects here. And then we have to do the second part, which should be a lot easier. Let's duplicate this again. Yeah, make the line transparent. I forgot about that last time. So let's put this on top and make it transparent like so. Maybe give it a different color so we have kind of an idea where it's going. Let's give the stroke pink is good. Okay, so now we can see where it's going. Oh, okay, makes it a little bit easier. Okay. Let's rotate this over here. Whoop. So this is attaching to that one. It's easier to do this in multiple parts, and also this is behind the body, so we don't even have the problem of this like overlap here because this is hidden anyways. This is stretching. Well, the good thing is we don't see it, so there's kind of a bendy thing going on here because of the warp effect, but we don't see that, so that's pretty good. Let's take again the mesh warp. Now we have it a little bit easier. Just put this up here. And now, for example, like what I said with the effect before, if you want to do this twist effect, for example, which doesn't look very nice here, we can still adjust that. But like you have seen in the other picture, for that you would need to have this kind of warp effect. So that's a bit different. There you go. So you have a bit more flexibility with this, maybe. You can also do a brush. It's an interesting way to do that too. Okay, let's see what's happening here. Let's stretch this out. So there's always, like with art or with kind of any kind of creative project you can do, there's always different kind of ways you can go about it. And which give you different results, different possibilities also, which is nice because this gives you then, as a result, different artistic expressions. So just like playing around with different kind of things can lead you to very different ways and results, and also ideas, concepts you can find in there. So that's very interesting. Today I wanted to try more of this kind of 3D effect. Like this is a tube that we have seen last time in that picture from Instagram. I think this looks okay. Good. So let's hit apply here. Now we can turn off the curve. We see the full effect. Okay. So now we have these layers. We need to hide behind the body. So we need to create a mask on those. Let's put both of those into a group, for example, and then make a mask on that. Let's see how well that works. Let's make this transparent, like so. And then I can simply take a brush. By the way, again, I haven't connected my art pad, so let's do this real quick. Let's save. I hope this doesn't crash my anything here. What is this? Oh, that's something else. Okay. 1 secundo. That's the right one. Okay. Good. There we go. All right. My super duper high tech, I think, 14-year-old Wacom pad. It still works. That's the most important part. I have newer stuff, but this is the only one that is so small that I have, which is nice. So my table isn't that cramped with all this kind of stuff. Of course, now I don't know where the pen is for it. There it is. Okay. No, that's not it. Sorry. Well, 1 second. There it is. There's a lot of stuff on my table. I'm pretty happy you can't see all of that. All right. So let's go here. We need a brush, paintbrush, and we need to set it to black, and then want to make it a little bit harder and have it full opacity, please. And the width is maybe a bit too big. Reduce the hardness a tiny bit. That looks good. Okay, I will let my cat out of the room 1 second and I'm back. Oi. Come, Lizzie. Come. Yeah. So there we go. Okay. All right, I'm back. Okay, so let's make some quick work of this. And then I want to paint on the skin stretch. Okay, so we simply paint here. I think I want to make this a lot bigger. Let's go like that. It does do the kind of color edge, which I don't like, but it's okay for the moment. Wait, I need to push this up a little bit. Ugh. Nope. Don't crash my software, please. So let's see. Okay, when I hit the how do you say? What's the key in the middle of your keyboard, the long one that you make like the pauses between words? If you press that, you get the little hand that you can move the canvas around. That was a bit too much. Let's save. Thank you for the advice, Ronald. And if you got a little bit too much, go to white and then just paint into the other direction, like so. And you can take it back. As you can see, it's pretty easy, pretty fast. And then switch back to white. The space bar. That's it. Hey, by the way, have you seen on Netflix, there's a new series, it's called Space Force. Makes a little bit fun of the Space Force, the actual Space Force. So it's a comedy. It's from the same guy who does The Office, not the English guy, the American guy. And it's pretty nice. It's a bit lightweighted, but it's still a pretty cool kind of soap with a lot of sometimes heavy topics in there. But it feels like it's fun. It's fun to watch. Here I went way too far. Let's paint this in here a little bit again. And then undo it again with black. There we go. Okay. Let's go over here. Where does this end? Over here. Okay, good. So you can see this is actually pretty fast, and it's kind of fun to do this kind of thing. So there might be other methods who might be a bit faster. You could do like a selection with the lasso tool or something like that. But I feel like it's kind of fun to do it like that. Also feels a bit more artistic, so. Oh, there we have some hair. So maybe we have to do some other selection here. Or maybe we just ignore that hair. Let's see how that looks. Save. And then bring it back. Boom. Oh, there's some stuff here. Need to hide that. You can click on Alt and then on the mask and you see only the mask. You see, for example, up here, maybe you want to click on that and then you click on another layer and you're back at your normal picture. So that looks pretty good. Down here, that's a bit strange, but we can attend to that later. That's not that important right now. We can also fix this later, so that's also not that important right now. And the only thing I want to do now is kind of like an effect that makes it look more like a tube. So, all right. So what I want to do here is to make a new pixel layer and then make a selection here. We could create it as a mask on the pixel layer. So let's try this real quick. So you can see here, make a selection and then click on mask, and this makes automatically a mask out of that. And so now if I paint, all the paint stays in here, as you can see. So if I make a really big brush, you can see I'm only brushing inside of that. So that can be very helpful. And now I can, for example, let's reduce the opacity here, let's say to 10% or something, like so. Make it really soft, like so. And now I could technically paint in here a little bit of shadow down there. Let's see. By the way, where's the light coming from? Light is coming from here. Shadows are dark down here. Oh, there's also some light coming from here. Okay, interesting. Maybe that was a bit much over here. So let's take our eraser thing. Eraser tool. Make it very soft. Remove a little bit over here. Okay. So let's see with the blend modes. This is normal at the moment. They seem to do very little. Here's an overlay. Interesting. Let's make this as a selection and then I use a curves adjustment here. You can see now this has the selection inside of that. Just to see if I now reduce the brightness here, if that gives me kind of a better effect. That does somehow look better, right? I can basically leave that the same. Okay. Wait a second. Let's select this and then maybe paint here. Probably need to use white in this case. Yes, okay. Let's paint on here a little bit more. Ah, by the way, I forgot one thing. I mean, this looks already pretty nice, I would say. We can do something completely different. 1 second, I forgot about that. We can go here and then use our 3D effect here. Boom, let's see how that works. Okay, so make a really big radius like that. That is not too bad. Let's make it really soft and then less shiny. Yeah. Let's set this to grayness. Okay, let's add a second light source coming from over here. Reduce that. We could add a third light source, maybe from down here. Let's color this a little bit blue. Wait, we can actually like select some of that color here. There we go. Make it a little bit darker. That's actually okay. Doesn't look very nice here, but the rest looks kind of good. I only wish that the radius wouldn't be that limited. Can I set this to 150? Oh, I can. Didn't know that. Okay, cool. So let's set this to 250. Okay, let's see. The light sources again. Okay. Yeah, why not? Okay, let's close that. I mean, it's like just an effect. We can adjust it later on. The only things I don't like is this kind of stuff here. That's a bit too much. But it's still okay. All right, let's save this real quick. Let's go and duplicate this down here. Duplicate and then filter blur average. So we have this and then blur this over everything. Soft light. We could maybe only blend this over our effect. Let's duplicate this, put the mask on here. So now it's only on the skin thing here, the face stretch. So that's helpful. Let's see with the curve adjustments. Makes it pretty dark, so that's too much. The thing that we painted, let's see if we reduce that a little bit. Also reduce this ambient thing a little bit. That's a bit too much. Okay, good. All right. Let's work a little bit on this stuff here because this looks a bit strange. I think I want to select that stuff here, which doesn't work right now. Let's duplicate this real quick and rasterize it without the effects. And then I take this. Why doesn't this work? Deselect. For some reason, I can't make a selection right now. Let's use this. Doesn't. Oh, that works. Okay, interesting. So let's go back here. Or maybe wait a second. If I do this and just copy that, that's good enough already. All right, so let's delete the other part, or we don't have to delete that. Let's leave that here. And so now the only thing I need to do is to do a mesh warp here. Again, Affinity, I think I have to reinstall Affinity Photo on my computer. I have some problems lately. 1 second. There we go. Okay, so let's work on making this more believable. There is our thing here, so we need to have this didn't work. All right, interesting. Let's rasterize this and try it again. Doesn't work. Okay, never mind. Let's try to use it anyways. I think I want to make a line here to separate that from the other parts, and then stretch this out a little bit here. Like so. Just so this is kind of, come on, snapping a bit more onto these facial features here. Oh, we could make it round. I make another line here. You can double click to create these lines, by the way. Okay, let's apply that. It looks okay. There's some stuff. This is the original. We can fix that later on, no problem. Okay, so we need to have the eraser brush. Let's duplicate this real quick. So we have a backup, and then make this a bit smaller here. Opacity 6%, soft hardness, and then I can just like, is this the right one? Okay, maybe a bit more here. Okay, so where's my pen? There's my pen. Okay, so just want to blend this a little bit. Where's the mouth? Oh God, so far back. All right, okay. Let's make this bigger. It's too big. Okay. Good. So what we have to do here is now make a selection of this, and then we go to our overlay here and simply brush this in with a white brush, I guess. Opacity 100%. Okay. Down here doesn't work, probably because I erased that stuff down here. How do we fix that? That's the one. Oh, there's... Oh, okay. I understand. Okay, good, good, good. My cell phone is thinking I want to talk to it. 1 second. There we go. Let's keep this. And is this the same thing here? Yeah, it is, because we rasterized it without the effect. Okay, good. So let's pen. Why is there still a line? I don't understand. Where's that coming from? Oh. Okay. Shouldn't this be gone by now? There's something else visible here. Ah, that's the thing up here. Okay, I got it. No. It's from this thing here. What is this even? Can't remember. Sorry, 1 second. What is this? Ah, this is where I painted the effect in. I understand. Okay, okay, okay. So I can go in here just with black, remove that stuff here. Okay, that's okay. Good. We have to fix this later on a little bit more. Or maybe let's just duplicate this. I'm using a PC. Just someone was asking in the chat. Let's Gaussian blur this and then put it in the background. Move it in here a little bit more so this makes everything a little bit softer. And then just delete the parts we don't need over here so we don't have kind of a glow effect on that. All right, good. So this is already pretty nice. Okay, let's put some... Okay, first of all... Oh god, we have so many elements right now. Let's try to put a film grain over everything, see how that looks, and if it doesn't look good, we will adapt it to just the lower elements, or like the new elements, let's say it like that. Film grain. Okay, I'm again in the free pack. Let's go here. There's a blurry film grain. We could try that. Or the pink one. Let's add both of them to see which one fits better here. 1, 2. Save. Okay. Let's first try this one. Soft light. I'm on the wrong one, of course. Soft light. There we go. No, again, still on the wrong one. Okay. Set this. Yeah, it's also not. It's all a little bit intense. We can still adjust that, but it doesn't look like it fits 100%. This is better. This is a lot better. Okay. HSL, put it on here, set it to erase. And then let's move this around a little bit. The violet lawn is a little bit better. That's okay. I think it's... That's a bit intense, maybe. But, I mean, it's still okay. We can go in here to the blend modes. Let's play around with that real quick. Oh, they are also still pretty big. Let's go and make this smaller. Okay. Let's reset this. That's better. You can also try to duplicate this. But then for the second one, no color. Yeah, that's pretty okay. That's pretty cool. All right. Good. Now, the one thing I want to do is, actually we could use some smoke up here because this is going into smoky area. So, where's my, there's the fog template here. Let's see, brush. We need a blue color, like this one, bright blue. Okay, let's rotate this. With the arrow keys, you can do this with the arrow keys. Let's use this one. Put it up here. Let's go like this, and I can still move it because we have these edges here. So let's move one up here and then make a copy, move it down there and make this one bigger, like so. Okay. Eraser. Nice big size. Soft edge to get rid of these edges here, like in my alien tutorial. There you go. Simple. Do the same thing for the second one. Oh, that was a bit too much. There we go. Okay, pretty good. So let's see with the... let's duplicate this one. And then curves. Snap this on here. Let's see. Wait, we need to put this over there so we see something. Nah, that's not the way. 1 second. Let's try levels adjustment here. That's not good. The only thing I want to do here is to have more structure, because this is like, you can see it's like super soft. We can move this up. It gives us a bit more structure, but I want to have this kind of structure in here. So we're not getting that. Let's see here. This is a bit too much. Let's download this real quick. It probably looks wrong. I just want to try if it maybe works still. Replace that. Downloads in here. Let's see if we multiply that. it looks like clouds, because clouds have a completely different structure than smoke. And this is like different. That's not too bad. Let's have a look at this one. It's maybe not too bad. I will duplicate this. Again, use my eraser. Let's rasterize this. Rasterize, there we go. We might want to desaturate that one. Erase, desaturate. There we go. So we don't have this kind of yellow tint in there, you know? Okay. Well, that's actually pretty good. There's this edge here. Let's remove that real quick. Okay, let's make another layer here, pixel. And then let's put some of these, let's make this, okay, I have to change my brush to a normal brush. There you go. It's a bit too big, let's take this one. Let's set this to soft light, and then what I want to do is to pick these colors here and to paint a little bit maybe onto this. Okay, so that works. The only thing we need to do here is to get, well, actually a selection of that area. We can use this again, and then we have to fix it here a little bit, but that's better than nothing. Where's our layer? I think it was this one, right? Let's make a new one, doesn't matter if we have one more or less. Okay, so let's paint on this. Soft light. I think I want to have a bigger brush. And my board. Where's my pen? There it is. Okay. We are almost done, by the way. Whoops, that's not the one. Okay, and then I want to pick some colors from over here. I have to use my mouse for that, apparently. So let's go with that. Let's move this up here. And let's pick some of this color over here, darker one. Maybe a little bit darker. That looks good. Yeah, I've set up some of these buttons here on my thing. Should not do that. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's have some violet line down here, like this. On that area here. All right. Okay, so now we only have to fix this kind of thing here. When you go to swatches, you still have the last used colors. So that should be it, or not? This one. Okay, let's make this a lower opacity and a smaller brush. And then I just brush this in here a little bit until it blends. There we go. Good enough. let's make another layer over the denser. And let's see, let's save this real quick. Let's see if I brush here a little bit. No. Oh, I have to set it to soft light. Forgot about that. Boom. Okay. Let's take maybe a little bit from here. Let's reduce this even more. Okay, so this fades a little bit better into the face. I still hate these shiny parts here. Maybe we can do something about that. Let's make another pixel layer on top of here. Again, set it to soft light maybe. I want to use this color over here and see if I can maybe tone this down a little bit. Or not. Why doesn't this work? Linear burn. Can use multiply. Let's delete this again. Use the colors a bit closer. No. Let's use the clone brush real quick on this. I'll start here. This looks pretty straight still. Current layers and beneath. Rotate this a little bit, and we don't have to set this to multiply now. Start again here. Rotate this a little bit. And then select something over here, reduce the opacity. Okay. One more down here, real quick. Rotate that. All right. It looks pretty good, I would say. The only thing I don't like is this part here. It's a bit kind of... It's kind of... Could be better. How we could do... I will simply use, like, just as a last touch, let's go soft light here and then use our good old dodge and burn kind of thing. Let's set this brush dynamics to size change by pressure, like so. And then let's see if we can't like get this a little bit better here. That is way too much. I hope this is still interesting to watch. How long is the stream, by the way? Okay. Yeah, we still have a little bit of time. I should zoom out because it looks always bad if you do this while zoomed in because you don't see exactly what you're doing. Like so. That looks terrible. I think I've set up my brush a little bit too extreme here. Let's go like this. Just a small change. That is still not good. 1 second. Maybe let's or let's go like this, but then also flow. No, not the flow. Accumulation jitter. Can I not? Is there no opacity, like pressure to opacity adjustment? That seems very strange. Oh, spacing. Let's reduce the spacing. No. What? Okay, apparently that's not a thing. So let's go like that. Sorry. Let's make this a bit bigger here. Okay, let's go. Let's do this. What is that? Am I on the right layer? Because I don't see much. Oh. Yeah, actually changing. Okay, cool. The only thing I just realized here, this is like really bad. So let's find that part, which is on this layer here, and then just like blend that away a little bit. And now we can see the chin. Okay. Current layer. Come on. Give me some more. Let's rotate this a little bit. All right, that's good. Eraser brush. Yeah. That looks okay. Wait, where's the angle? There's the angle. Okay, let's set this back. Give me a new point. That wasn't good. I'm almost done. Don't crash me now. Let's zoom out. Not too happy. 1 second. Okay, now this picked up the side of the face. 1 second. Let's make this a bit smaller. Yeah, okay. Let's not get obsessed with those kind of details. Why is this looking so bad now? 1 second. Okay, good. Oh, my cat attacks me. I would say that's pretty nice. It's not 100% perfect. There's some things I would change, but I think it's pretty nice. We did like pretty good. It's really interesting, I would say. Do you like, will you change some stuff or? Where's that cloud effect that's up here? Let's duplicate that. Oh. No, that's a bit too much, right? Is that better? Let's reduce that a bit. Ah, it gives it a bit more structure. So maybe we could do it like that and then move this back here. So this part has a little bit more of that kind of fog going on. That's maybe a bit too much. Right, okay. Whew. I let my cat in 1 second. Once that is, also Lolo wants to say hello. Let's go to the talk view. Let's go quick. Hello, Lolo. Huh? Today is Hug the Cat Day. Let's take my other cat real quick. 1 second. Just want to leave him into the room. Belusa, come. Come here. Mama. 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 Come. There's Pelusa. Oh. Mama. Schau, da ist die Kamera. Schau, Pelusa. Schau. He's a really big cat. Okay, let's let him down. Oh, he's not too happy to be picked up. All right, let's switch over to this again. Whew. All right, I don't know. Should we do another one? I feel like, what time is it? Oh, it's 1:30 already. So I think we will leave it with one picture today. Usually I try to do 2 or more, but it was pretty long talk today also. Let's have a look. Let's go back to the talk view real quick. So that was fun. I think it turned out pretty interesting. The effect turned out really well. Yeah, so it's kind of fun to do these kind of things, to try out new stuff. I hope you enjoyed watching that. Yeah. Again, a new creation for Instagram. And yeah, it's kind of nice. Oh, no, I don't want to save that. Okay, cool. So thank you very much for watching. We can still talk a little bit if you want to. We can still chat a bit. Wow, I'm kind of bright in the picture right now. Wow, okay. It was nice. It was really interesting. It's a lot of steps always included. I always think like, hey, this thing is really quick because I've done it before. I did it last stream. I know how to do that, but then there's always kind of extra steps you want to do and adjustments to the color and the light and this kind of fog effect or smoke effect in the background. So, but I think it turned out pretty well. I think I want to, like, there's this part behind her body that I still want to adjust. That the shadow there is too bright for it to be that far behind her body. But the rest looks pretty interesting. And you've seen like this 3D effect in Affinity Photo. You can do really cool things with that if you play around with it, add different light sources. And it saves a ton of time on actually painting these effects in, and they are also more realistic. But you have to do some adjustments afterwards, unless you want to have this kind of plastic look, which is also nice, or metallic look. You can do some really nice metallic things. Sorry, hit the... yeah, okay. So yeah, thank you very much. It was fun again. Thank you also for all your entries in the challenge this week. That was also very nice, very interesting to watch that. Again, check out the pack for the Unlock Dream effects. Have a look at that. Let me post that in there again. And did I post did I post the wrong link last time? Oops. Okay. So now my chat is gone also. Switched over here. There we go. I might have posted the wrong link last time. Let me see. Or maybe I posted a link to a video? Oh, okay. I posted a link to the video. That's good. So this is the post to the video. And then also to the Facebook group real quick. I want to post that also again, if you want to join there. And yeah, it was really nice. The talk and the reviews, everything very cool. So thank you very much, and have a nice day, right? Bye.